T minus 2 minutes. T minus 1 minute. T minus 50 seconds. T minus 40 seconds. T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Blast off. Hi guys, welcome back to Watch the Obsession live stream and chat. And this evening we have a special live stream for you with a special featured guest, and that is my friend Rachel, who does amazing research. She's like super smart and really good at researching things, just the right things so you can find out information. She finds it out a lot faster than I can. Earlier today we were looking for the name of Mica Miller's first husband, and she, basically figured out half of his life story, and I just figured out his first initial. So that's going to be really cool. So why don't I just bring Rachel on, actually? So I'm going to bring you on, Rachel. So here is, wait, hold it just 1 second. Just 1 second here. I'm killing her. I know I'm being too slow, being way too slow. Sometimes I am too slow. Did you guys see that there is new footage that came out, body cam footage of the store that Mica Miller went into to purchase the gun beforehand? There's two different views. I definitely know it's on, we were just talking about it's on Grizzly True Crime right now. And just some interesting, I don't know, just kind of an interesting way to look at Micah's perspective when she was in that store. I'm like looking at her face. I'm like, is she smiling? Does she look agitated? Does she look sad? And I'd be really interested to see what it is you guys think about that as well. So I'm just going to bring Rachel up, and then we're going to watch a little bit of a video, and then I'm going to send out the notification again that we are live now. Everybody, please click like so more of our friends get the notification. And I hope you guys are all having an awesome night. Hey, Double R, your pants on? Good. Hey, Kezchick, thanks for being here. Hey, Kevin again, and everybody who came back from the earlier stream. Thank you so much for coming back. Everybody who's here for the first time tonight, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. And moderators, you guys are the bomb. Thank you so much. All right, so everybody, welcome. Rachel. Hey, how are you doing,
everybody?
Rachel? Hi. So
hi.
Researcher extraordinaire. Doesn't she look like a smart researcher? You do with the
glasses.
I know, I
do. I'm all studious with my glasses.
So, yeah. So something that Rachel and I have been talking about recently is, well, and I think a lot of people have too, of course, is whether Micah chose to go to that national park or she just ended up there for some other reason. Why in the world was it that national park? What do you think, Rachel?
It's very strange to me. It seems very out of her way.
Out of her way.
We now know after doing some research, she has some ties to that area, right? But it just seems very bizarre for her to drive so zigzagged and out of the way to get to the state park when she could have really gone anywhere.
She could have gone anywhere. That's true. It's like, why if it's your intention to end your life, if that was her intention, why, unless it was a place that had some sentimental value, and that wasn't this place, because according to everyone who knew her, she'd never been there before. She had no connection to it. So why would you be even particular about where it is you ended up? So, I mean, I think that says to all of us that there must be some significance about this location.
I think there is.
We have to know what that is. So, all right. So I'm going to bring a video here into the stream. We're just going to check that out for a moment. And I have a lot of great stuff to talk to you guys about tonight. Welcome. Come on in, guys. All right. We can press play and begin. Oops. Got to get back to the beginning, though. Her poor dad.
I know. I feel so bad for her family.
There's no reason for her to go out there. That's the main point as well. She's never been out there. We don't go up there. It's not a family spot. And she was off the trail enough into a park ranger only area that nobody knows about. And so...
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Tough Topic. My name is Brittany. I hope everyone is having a great day. There are so many details that were not covered, so many steps to investigate, and so many things that were skipped over. Things are starting to seem intentionally withheld because there's more to the story with the Mica Miller case. Now, we are really trying to put the pieces together and find out the clues that can potentially bring justice for Micah. Micah's dad seems to think because of Micah's death ruled in unaliving, the investigators got lazy and they felt that it was no need to further investigate. But let's talk about Micah's choice of location. This park is located in Lumberton, North Carolina. Lumber River State Park is about 25 miles away from where Micah actually lives. But understand this, Micah's dad says that this park is an unfamiliar place. Family has never been there, so it was unusual for her to choose this park. But here's where things can confirm that she has no idea where she was.
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone? You don't know where you're at? A national park. What's the phone number you're calling me from? Where's the park located at? Bear Bluff? Find my phone is on. This is my location.
So during this 911 call, she asked the operator to trace her phone. When asked where she was, she told the operator, a national park. When she said it with uncertainty. Like she really was confused about where she was. Anyone who has been to a place before would state the name of the park and location. Example, hi, my name is Micah. I'm at Lumber River National Park in Lumberton, and I don't know the exact address. You would sound confident. You wouldn't be stalling. And I just feel like there was something else involved with this phone call. When the operator asked her the location of the park, she says Flarebuff. She says Flarebuff with uncertainty as well. Mm-hmm. Now you can tell she's looking on her phone for the details, or it's almost as if she's trying to figure out what to say next. So I'm going to also add this piece of information. John Paul's lawyer, Tom Winslow, has a property across the water from the park, and it connects to the address that belongs to him according to property records. For security reasons, of course, I will not be including
I have a question. Okay, so she did. Rachel, have you seen those property records?
I have.
Okay, you have. So they do exist.
Yes,
okay,
they do.
Good. Cool.
Yes, but you can access this park by boat from his property, and it's about 20 minutes to get there. Now, I'm not claiming at all that the attorney has any affiliation with Micah's death, but I do find it to be a coincidence. John Paul made many statements in regards to Micah's mental state, her medical history, and also encouraged her to be admitted to a mental facility. Tom Winslow also helped JP get power of attorney over her. It's also on his website that he specializes in artificial intelligence. Now, Tom Winslow is now allegedly being investigated by the FBI. I actually would love to know if he has at any time shared with JP the ropes of AI. All of this is really not sitting right with my soul. Anyone else know why Micah would choose to drive to Lumberton with a sandwich packed, gets a full tank of gas, casually stops by a pawn shop to get a firearm, and of all places, Lumberton, when there's so many parks in South Carolina, this was actually out of her way. But let me know what you all think in the comments below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you won't miss any updates or information in this case. Bye for now.
Okay, and that was the channel is Tough Talk, I think it is. Yeah, I'll put the links in the description down below. Whoops. Which one is this here? Hold it. Oh, this is the grizzly one. Okay, so we can look at that if we want to. But so what do you think about what she just had to say there, Rachel?
I'm really torn. I mean, I think the AI phone call sounds like such a stretch, right? Like it doesn't sound like it would be possible. And then I've come across so many things on TikTok and these different programs where you basically only need like a small snippet of someone's voice, and it's pretty dead on. Some of them are really, really accurate. And a lot of those are just the free ones that are out there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I've heard too. I haven't really had a chance to like mess around with it. I want to do that though because I'm super curious about that. Why don't, just for people that haven't heard it yet, it's less than 2 minutes long. Let's listen. This is on Grizzly True Crime. She's been putting out great information on this case. Let's listen to the 911 call really quickly, okay? Hi, Gisela.
She is doing an amazing job.
So freaking organized. I love it. Turn up. Okay.
So there, I've heard some of that, but this was the 911 call made by the person who reported that they found her body.
Okay.
Very sad.
It doesn't
now
get
we're
any easier to listen to either.
Micah Miller's 911 call.
What'd you say?
I just said it doesn't get any easier to listen to either. It's just I've heard it so many times, and it's still it hurts. It hurts to listen to. It's sad.
It does. It does. I know. And I've been last few times I listened to it, I'm just really like thinking like, you know, is that her? You know, I know her dad said, well, you know, it doesn't sound like her because she's usually very peppy and up, and you know, the cadence was really slow here. But you know, I'm also thinking like if somebody really is about to go kill themselves,
right,
maybe they would be like in a different frame of mind, and that would be reflected in how they sound and all of that. But you know, we don't know.
Yeah, very like melancholy.
Yeah, very. Yeah, let's take a listen.
Call as well, in case anyone here hasn't heard it yet. It's not very long at all. It's just over 2 minutes. Okay, so trigger warning.
Robeson County 911. What's the address of your emergency?
Hi, are you able to trace the location of my phone?
Let me see. You don't know where you're at?
In National Park.
What's the phone number you're calling me from?
843-655-5242.
Where's the park located at?
In Bear Bluff.
Let's see.
I have my location on, I think, on my phone. Find my phone is on. I just did my my location.
Okay, I'm showing, hold on 1 second. I don't think you are in Robeson County. Yeah, the Lumber River State Park.
Yeah, that's where I am.
Okay. Tell me what's happened.
I'm about to kill myself, and I just want my family to know where to find me.
Okay, ma'am. Just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Let me make sure I got the exact location where you're at, okay? Just 1 minute.
Okay, so we've heard the 911 call again, as well as the 911 call from the person who.
I don't know. There's just something. I mean, there's just something off about so many aspects of that. And now, one thing that kind of throws me there is it seems to me like maybe the 911 dispatcher is a little inexperienced.
I know that they do. They receive training for it. I know that they do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like she's very quick to act in any way. I mean, if I was put in a situation like that, I would think I would try to talk them down or try to figure out, where is this coming from? Why are you so upset? How can we kind of distract you a little bit? And she just kind of
what's going on early. She's like, oh, I'll be your like Google Maps. Yeah. Because that's why you call 911, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's very strange.
I don't know why they call, because people aren't just calling because
It's strange.
Yeah.
And so another thing that a lot of people keep talking about is that there's just a total lack of background noise on this 911 call, right? It's just totally silent. And it's a lot of people are saying she was in the car, she wasn't in the car, she was standing on the creek bed or by the river. There's a lot of information and you don't really know where to dive in.
Yeah, no, that's very true. And, and when we were talking about this a little bit last night, that it's been said by Micah's father Micah's father primarily that, where she was found in the water, but it was still water. And her body was found 40 meters away from the shell casings, which is just so crazy. And then there was a
to
tree
put that in perspective, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. So because you just brought this up with the distance thing, so let's talk about that, because you just brought up, what did you say, 40 meters?
40 meters.
Okay, so we were talking about the 911 call, and she wanted to make sure that everyone knew her location and that her pings were working. So when we were doing some digging, January 4th of 2024, there was a law that was presented. Basically, it states that it wants to make all 911 call locations universal. So it's constantly being transmitted when someone's calling 911. So the new diameters of this would be a radius of 165 meters. So you said she was found 40 meters from the casings, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
165 meters at 90% accuracy is what the location pings for 911 calls are supposed to be now.
Okay.
So if you take the parking lot, and there's a ton of videos out there now of people sitting in the parking lot and walking the exact trail. So I've seen several people do it now, and it's about a 20-minute walk. So that's over, 541 feet. It doesn't take you 20 minutes to walk 541 feet. So I'm really starting to doubt the her sitting in the car scenario and calling. It just doesn't seem to add up and make sense.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. And that piece of information, I actually didn't really get what we were, we were talking about that before. I didn't really get it, like the calculations until now, but it really puts it outside the margin of error. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. For her body alone to be found 40 meters from the casings, you're talking about a third right there. And it's not that far. It's really not that far.
Wow, that's crazy. And why? And most people, when if they end up taking their own lives, the way that things end just aren't this complicated. It's just so strange for everything
yeah
to be complicated. So it's like no matter what angle you look at it, it just brings up more and more and more questions.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely crazy. So let's see. I lost what I want. Okay. I want to go back to that, but But another thing we do want to touch on, and we're going to tie them together because they do tie together in my mind, at least, and I think your mind too, Rachel. I'm going to play a video talking about, well, JP Miller's dad, because he's a really interesting character. And I know if you were
I think we have to start at the beginning.
Yes. I know if you were in the live stream last night, we touched upon him a little bit, but there is still more to tell about this man, this man, right? This beastly, godly man. It's just pretty wild. So I'm just going to pop this in, take it in. Everybody take a deep breath, open up your mind.
It's a lot of information. It really is. We could sit here forever and go back decades and probably dig up information that is mind-blowing, but you got to start somewhere. So
it's like very Murdaugh-y.
It is. Like, oh, what a tangled web we weave, for sure.
I'm so glad you said that. Thank you, Alec. Thank you, Alec Murdaugh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it didn't.
Jay, your husband is what they call filled with lies, deception, and depravity. I heard of this
really good video.
If you knew the pain and heartache that you would go through. At the end of the day, your husband is what they call a narcissist. And now the world knows. And we will be your activists. Meet the Millers. Reginald Wayne Miller, who is the father of J.P. Miller, who is the founder of Cathedral Bible College, also has his issues, if you will. At the end of this video, you will get more insight into why J.P. Miller is the way he is. The story goes back as far as the 70s when Miller Sr. started the Glory Bible College in Florence and was pastor at the Tabernacle United Methodist Church near Pamplico. After being in this location for 2 years, he founded his church called Florence Tabernacle. He started to gain popularity. So in 1979, which would make Reginald a 30-year-old man, who was said to have looks, charm, and ambition, according to a reporter who covered a story on this rising star, he got married to his then wife, Susan, who later filed for divorce in 2007. Her reasons for filing for divorce was that he was so engrossed in the church and religion. Susan also stated that her world was slowly crumbling because, as is tradition in this family, scandal arose. Reginald Wayne Miller was accused of making sexual advances toward the husbands of 2 women who attended their Bible college. In the 80s, a TV station in Florence broadcasted a 5-part news report with the students of the college where their faces were blurred out as well as their voices being disguised, and they retold their stories of his advances. So one would think that this man would go to the Lord on his face and beg for forgiveness, right? And petition the throne for healing from that demon that's inside him that has these desires. Nope. Instead, this Wayne Miller decided that he would move to another city in South Carolina. So they sold their home.
Okay, so now I just want you to, so you heard what was said about Reginald Wayne Miller when he was a younger man and what the wife said, and that there were claims of scandal and, well, infidelity it sounds, but it's claimed that he was going after, well, it was just said, the husbands of some women at the church. Now, let me just read a little bit here from an affidavit from Allison Miller, who was J.P. Miller's first wife before Micah, who she ended up divorcing J.P. because apparently Micah was working in their house. She was babysitting children and doing some other work, right? And somewhere Allison caught the 2 of them, in a compromising situation, correct?
Yes, I've heard that she caught them at the church, and I've heard that she caught them at the house. So yeah. I'm not sure which is right, but
I'm not sure either. Oh, well, okay. So in the 2017 affidavit, who's this person? I want her to not be there. 2017 affidavit. I'm going to go up a paragraph. So their relationship started with both of them cheating on their previous spouses. Speaking about J.P. Miller and Mica Miller. Mica Miller claimed that in the 7 years she was married to Pastor Miller, she was a faithful, dutiful wife who was devoted to the church and marriage. In 2017 affidavit, it also highlighted that the Daily Mail talked to Miller's first wife, Allison, who's the mother of his 5 children. She accused him of engaging in sex acts with minors younger than 16 years old and having an addiction to prostitutes. I don't know, Rachel. I think it sounds like a good candidate for a preacher. What do you think?
It's like he's using this place as just like it's just like a praying ground for him.
It's
Like
crazy.
a never-ending cycle of abuse victims. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's like young, vulnerable people who he has power over.
Right. Total power and control over.
Jeez.
And his father was the same way.
Yeah, exactly. She also alleges that Miller was caught in an affair with Micah in 2015 while she was working as her babysitter and married to JP Miller's then best friend, Jeremy.
Right.
Her marriage and my husband's career were less stable at the time because at the time my husband's affair was discovered. He had previously admitted to both me and our congregation that he had an addiction to prostitution. And that's from Allison, his former wife, in an affidavit. He also confessed to me and other staff members at the church that he had sexual encounters with young females at the church who were under 16 years of age.
Oh,
What a sick
it's like
motherfucker.
stomach burning, isn't it?
It's terrible. It's so disgusting. Instead of removing Miller as leader, Allison stated that the church officials demanded he get counseling for a sex addiction, but he refused to get counseling, which caused many of the members to leave. When he refused, the majority of our church left the congregation, says Allison. Miller previously acknowledged that the affair with Micah and being forced to start over at his church in an interview, but he didn't share the details alleged by Allison. So he's like, okay, yeah, I did have an affair, but not all that like 13-year-old stuff. I didn't do that. In one of the latest allegations against the pastor, Miller confessed to posting a nude photo of Micah on social media as she tried to divorce him, which we all now know that did happen. He was being manipulative because he is an insecure narcissist, it sounds, and Micah was absolutely trapped. And what he said to her was, I'm sorry for putting a picture of you on the internet. It was for less than an hour and immediately taken down, justifying it.
It's right. It's horrible. Like you're saying, oh, I'm sorry that I did it, but let me backhand you after I say it. Right. It's just awful.
Abusive. I was hurt that you were telling everyone the horrible intimate details of my past sin. That should probably be plural. And I just wanted to try to hurt you. Please forgive me. It was evil of me to do that. Once again, it sounds like the perfect candidate for a pastor at my church.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like, how does this happen? So the parallels between, JP and his father, Reginald Wayne Miller, at, the
huge.
They're just absolutely huge and terrible. All right, I'm going to pop that little video back in and then we'll go from there. Stop and start. I love StreamYard. Some days. Okay.
Home and headed to Myrtle Beach, where he started preaching again in an empty storefront. In 1993, the Air Force Base in Myrtle Beach closed. And this is where Wayne Miller saw the opportunity to use this to his advantage by requesting welfare from the government because of the base closure. He also would show up at the meetings about the closure and threatened the base redevelopment authority by telling them that if they didn't meet his demands financially, they would contract a deadly disease. They eventually caved and allowed him to purchase one of the chapels that were on the base, as well as the surrounding land. Then in 1995, this is the location he started, the unaccredited private school called Cathedral Bible College that caters to kindergarten through high school aged children. The shocker is this building, this college, stayed open for 4 years. Now, do you think it closed because of, I don't know, he had some sexual indiscretions before? No. What led to him and his family skipping town was in 2006. The pastor was charged with lewdness and prostitution because he exposed himself to an undercover male police officer in a bathhouse at the Myrtle Beach State Park. They love parks, don't they? Of course, because it's Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, he got enrolled into a pre-trial intervention program And the charge that he received was later expunged. And after that scandal, he decided to move to Marion. When this deviant arrived in Marion, the mayor of all people, Bobby Davis, gave this man the key to the city. And he also received an award in 2013 for what they called his efforts to redevelop an old healthcare facility. And what did he do with his efforts? Turn that healthcare facility into a new college. And what kind of crowd does a college attract? Young people. He operated the college for years. And during that time, Homeland Security was made aware of the illegal work program for his foreign students. In the interview, the students stated that there was a climate of fear, and Wayne Miller would use their status as immigrant students to threaten them. The students also said that he forced them to work 40 hours a week for only $25. Eventually, this man was charged with 2 felony counts of visa fraud, 2 counts of fraud and labor contracting. And then this pastor, in his statements to the FBI, provided false information and false documents. This man lied and said that nothing we're saying was true, but eventually he saw the light, pled guilty to willful failure to pay minimum wage, which is a misdemeanor that only carried a 6-month sentence. But before pleading guilty, his bond was set at $250,000, and the terms of his bond were, listen closely, that he could not be on a college campus or communicate with any current or foreign students. So you may be wondering, where did he go next? Well, of all places, he ended up in Pakistan. And let's just say his missionary work in Pakistan has the most outlandish accusations, ones that are so egregious I can't say it here on this channel. If you're interested, I've linked the video below where a man from Pakistan who knows him and has information about all his dealings with the young men in that country has called him out recently. The video is not in English, but if you read the description box of the video, it translates what's being said. I wanted to add that Wayne Miller is also accused of being an arsonist. You heard me right. He is suspected of burning down 2 churches. In 1980, the 39-year-old church, Tabernacle Baptist Church, was partially destroyed by fire. Then in 1999, the Tabernacle Baptist Church and Gloryland Bible Church were also destroyed by fire. As if this is not interesting enough, the headquarters located in Marion, South Carolina, that's now closed, that location is only 38 minutes from Lumber River Park. Yes, that Lumber River Park, the park where Mica Miller died. Think about that. As far as JP's mother, the jury is still out because the first ex-wife of Wayne Miller, according to the math, she isn't his mother. And the website that would give you information about this Bible college has now gone offline, just like JP's church. And as you can see here, Wayne Miller's Facebook page has been wiped clean. And what remains is that according to him, Reginald Wayne Miller, he'll continue to preach until he's dead. The update on Micah's case is that the FBI has now joined the case. And as far as the location of JP's father, according to the report, as early as last week, he was a substitute teacher at another church school. And because he got ran out of Pakistan, he did what all these so-called missionaries do. He headed to Africa, which circles us right back to JP Miller, whose church also has a so-called missionary in Africa. And we'll get into JP Miller and his dealings in the next video, so stay tuned. So share your thoughts in the comment section below and let me know what you think about this travesty, because no doubt this man has impacted so many young lives, young people's lives, children's lives. And I fear that this is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the Millers. Remember to like the video and subscribe. Also, turn on your notification bell and please watch when you're notified. I'd really appreciate it. Stay tuned for more. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.
That's such a well put together video. I loved that video.
It's such a great video. And I feel like this we watched last night, but it's really so super informative. It's just great.
Ran out of Pakistan. He did what all these so-called.
It's such a good video.
Well,
and go ahead.
Reginald Miller.
Yeah.
There's a lot. Like this guy was into everything. I mean, I dug up a lot on him.
He what he said to me, and you got a lot more detail, was, and this was before any of this was like for our eyes that anyone had dug it up. I just started to do that. This was like several days ago. He said abuse, exploitation, and trafficking. That's what this man is known for. I was like, what? No way.
Yeah.
Sounds like that's just about right.
And you pulled that out before I had even done some of my research on him. So
Yeah, that it's just crazy, and I want to know more. I'm trying to have a conversation with him again. He is, I think I know people on Chill know it. My one cousin who used to be in law enforcement, and then she was in the prostitution sting, and she got drugged by a car. The guy got spooked out. Her purse strap was around the rearview mirror. I don't know if you know about this. She got addicted to opiates. She died of an overdose a month ago. It was 3
yeah, you're
months.
telling me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so the uncle I'm talking to is her dad.
That's
So
so
he's going through a
sad.
lot right now. So that's why I'm not able to have more like access to talking to him, just so everybody understands that. I can't imagine. So yeah.
Before we dive in a little bit more on Reginald Miller here,
Yeah.
I saw a couple of people were asking if I have a channel. So I'm not new to the true crime community, but I'm new to the YouTube community. So I have a channel. I don't have anything on my channel. This is kind of like my icebreaker. I'm usually more behind the scenes. I do a lot of behind the scenes work. Locally, my job, my career is a lot of behind the scenes work. I'm not the lawyer that walks into the courtroom, although I would love to be. I do a lot of the stuff behind the scenes for the lawyers that are going into court and speaking on your behalf. So that's a little bit of info on me. I had sent you a bunch of stuff, Cal.
Yeah.
That I had gone over. I dug into Reginald Miller quite a bit. So he had 2 federal charges for forced labor.
Mm-hmm.
And that was in or around May of 2014, right? So then July, they announced that they're going to tack on additional charges for him. So in August, beginning of August, they added on 2 charges of visa fraud, which were both felonies, and wage violations for paying, what did they say? It was $25 a week, I think, for 40 hours worth of work. So they added on these extra charges. And then in September 3rd of 2014, he pled guilty. The felonies didn't stick though. He got convicted of the misdemeanors, but I think the plea deal with the pleading guilty, they dropped the felonies is what I think happened.
Okay. Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of straightforward information on that either.
It was hard to dig up actual court clerk records on his conviction, but I did find the information about the charges. So some of the details that were included were that they had talked to 8 or more students from the Bible college. Okay. So they were complaining that there was the forced labor, that conditions they lacked hot water. They didn't have heat. There was no air conditioning, that the food they were being fed was expired or it was insufficient. It was not able to be consumed for humans. It was just very subpar living conditions. And then he was working them to death, but between the church and his house, he was using them at both places.
Wow. And there's the exploitation that my uncle was speaking about right there. Those images. Now, what was it, Rachel, that he was indicted? He was indicted by a grand jury for what?
The 2 counts of visa fraud.
Is that what he was indicted for? Okay.
Yes. So there was 2, which is pretty wild because I found something today that kind of ties to the visa part with him, and we're still working it out.
Okay.
But I think we found a tie from Reginald's visa and bringing people over to work in these awful, deplorable conditions, and now a tie to Micah and JP, potentially.
Right. Yes. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, you can pull it up if you want to. I'm pretty sure I sent it in that email.
Yes, so I have that. So that is the May 15th, just yesterday thing, right?
Yeah. So yeah, that ties into it too. So
wait. So which one do you want me to bring up?
Let's do the visa one first. So I was doing some research today, like I'm always doing all day long, and I came across. It took some digging, but I came across Micah's first divorce. So I came across a bunch of filings from Micah's first divorce, and in the first divorce, you can see the filing dates, you can see the notes that are entered and the text files. So in one of the text files, I'm just going to read directly from the court clerk website. So these are plaintiff documents, right? And it says a 7/18/16 request for hearing divorce. It was set for September 14th of 2016 at 2:30 before the judge. And the very next sentence on this says, KHC, wrong one, Cal. KHC, August 25th of 2016, green card on the first husband. So there very well could be a connection. Is this someone that was born here in the States? Were they brought over on a working green card or a working visa from one of these other countries when he was bringing other people in for the Bible college? How did him and Micah meet? I know that they were, Micah and her first husband and JP were all somehow connected, but were they connected because of the father?
Right.
How did this all come about?
Because he's indicted on these charges of, basically exploitation, whatever, of these students.
That trafficking people here.
Exactly. Trafficking people over from overseas. And then this guy
I would hold this up to the camera, but I don't know if it's going to work.
Let's see. I can't find. That one wasn't in the email. I'm just trying to find.
Hold
up the camera really quick so I can just see what it looks like so I can pull it up. Whoops. Oh, crap. Are you there? Yeah, you are.
Can you see it?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to.
Goodness gracious.
Trying to see which one it is on your screen because I can't see it. And because I'm new to this, I don't know how to bring up documents myself. I'll get there, but
yeah, no, you're good. Let's see. I'm just bear with me. Go ahead and keep talking.
I was just going to resend it to your email so you could pull it up on the screen quick.
Yeah, do that. Thank you. That would be perfect. Yeah, because everything, if it goes to my email, I can pop it up super quick.
And then the more that I do, the more handy I'll get with these programs, and I can do it with you. Okay, just sent it.
Okay, cool.
And I don't want to dox the first husband. I mean, his info's out there, so anyone can go and search for it. I don't want to like out his name, but it's in all these public records. It's going to be put out there at some point anyways.
I mean,
I do feel bad, but it's going to be discussed. It has to be discussed, especially now that I found this info on the green card and it being tied to the visa fraud and the trafficking. It's really mind-blowing, right?
It's totally mind-blowing. There it is. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, it's like at first you're looking at all of the documents you would send me like one by one by text. It's like, great, I wake up and Rachel sent me like 7 documents. I'm like, yay! Now I have a mystery to figure out for the day. It's like each of them has like something in them that's intriguing, and there's something material there, but it's not until you really start to go through them and try to piece them together, you're like, oh my God, like look at that. It's crazy.
Everything's connected. It's just a matter of finding the dots that you need to connect in the first place.
In this case, it truly is. So, all right, let me bring this up here. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Right.
So if you pull that up on the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to see the text details.
Okay.
For the filing.
See that window? No. Okay. When I said earlier, I love StreamYard, I was being a little facetious because it's a little like hard to work with when you're trying to show a lot of different documents. So, but here we go.
Yeah, I'll learn those tricks as we go. Okay, so right there you can see it. I'm still working on the KHC part. I don't know if those are initials for someone that works at the courthouse. I'm not 100% on that yet. I'm still working on that. But you can see the date. We know that they were divorced in 2016, right? Mm-hmm. So it's very bizarre that you see green card on Jeremy. I was not expecting that when I was looking into their divorce.
No.
So that could be a really strong tie to the father and the trafficking. I mean, if he's bringing people in, that very well could have been how they met.
It absolutely could. And that's really interesting. And then, it said that he was JP's best friend at the time that Micah and Jeremy got married, which of course is really crazy since, he officiated over the wedding, which is just a beautiful thing. I now pronounce you man and wife. You can kiss the bride. And then he started having an affair with the bride who was his best friend's wife. I mean,
it's very strange, right?
It's very, very, very strange.
So while we're on the topic of the divorce, the other thing I found that was a real eye-opener was I was doing some digging, and Their divorce had a filing as of yesterday's date. Now it's filed under miscellaneous.
Yesterday's date.
Yes, yesterday's date.
Yesterday's date. Wait,
There's an entry in their divorce as of
Yeah.
yesterday's date.
Isn't that crazy? Let me just grab this here. I can't. I know when you said that, I was like, that was yesterday. You're just like, yes.
And I didn't even realize it was yesterday. I know it's mid-May. I'm a mom. Everything runs together. You don't even realize it. And when you said that's yesterday, I was like, oh my gosh, she's right. That was yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just like, wow. Really need .com. No, I don't need .com. Okay, here, let me just share it like that. Okay, so here we go.
Part of me was wondering, because it's filed under miscellaneous, part of me was wondering if it was maybe a request to seal the entire record. But if it was, they probably would have taken it down already. It wouldn't have been searchable.
It was,
so I'm not
it
sure.
would sort of defeat the purpose of the request to seal.
So not that one. I think maybe just with maybe because they don't want to out the first husband. And that is my thought, is that maybe he had filed to seal the record so that he wasn't connected to the chaos in any way.
Right. Because he has been trying to keep everything under wraps. So I don't have this one in the email either.
That's okay. I'll send it right now.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
We'll just do it individually. Then we can't get messed up.
Totally works. Yeah, and while you're doing that, I'm gonna, oh my God, there's so much.
There's a ton. Yeah, there's a ton of information out there. So this was May 15th, 2024 at 9:12 a.m.
Okay. That's so weird. Okay. Yeah, let's take a look at this and see, you guys in chat, let us know what you think about this, because it's just so bizarre that you'll see the other dates. We'll go through them as soon as I have the visual for you here. And then all of a sudden it's May 14th, 2024. Like,
right.
It's just, I don't know.
That's attention grabbing when you see that. I mean, I wasn't at all. I thought it was a typo at first when I first pulled it up.
Oh my God, absolutely. Okay, here it is. Let me check out the right one. Zoom it in. Love StreamYard. And start, click. It's like,
we'll learn it together.
It's just crazy. No matter how well you know it, it takes a while. That's okay. There we go. All right. So when you're looking at this, it says, register of actions. And then if we're looking in the, let's see, left-hand column, let's start from the bottom and go up. It says August 27th, 2020. August 27th, 2020. August 27th, 2000. It's all August 27th, 2020. And then all of a sudden, May 15th, 2024, just yesterday. So what happened yesterday? And so they were divorced in 2016. So what is this filing date of 2020 all about anyway?
I think that was the date that it might have been entered. Like there was a change in the case. Maybe something was filed, and that was the date that everything was like simultaneously entered into the clerk system. But the May 15 date, that has to be something significant, especially because it's filed under miscellaneous. There's no detail about it. All it says is the entire file. It just says entire file and miscellaneous. So all of the rest of them have like the granted divorce or the 1 year of separation and all of the things that were completed in the case. And then you just have this random May 15th, 2024 filing.
That is it's just really weird. Let's see. Let's go to chat and see if anybody is picking up on any of this. Justice A through Z, how are you doing, sweetheart? What do you think about this? Let's see. Renee, hi Renee, how are you doing? Says Daybell all over again. Jeez. Oh God, he's such a creepy ass dude. Justice A through Z says JP probably has big life insurance on Micah too.
Could be.
That's funny. That's when we were talking earlier. I said,
yep.
I wonder if it has anything to do with life insurance, but would she still have a life insurance policy that had her ex-husband as a beneficiary? I mean, some people do, but would he cash in? I mean,
Right. Some people forget and they don't think to change the beneficiary. But the thing with that is that if she was going to change it at all, you would think she would change it to one of her siblings or her father or someone on her side of the family and not between her current and ex-husband. It doesn't make sense, but
what if she didn't know about it?
Possibility.
Justice A through Z is saying life insurance scam, I bet. So what if this is JP's doing, and Jeremy did not even know about it.
Right. Yeah, something's definitely going on there. There's definitely action in that case.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. Wait, who are you talking about, John and Nicole? I just want to make sure we got our story straight. Yeah. Okay. He also officiated his girlfriend's husband's funeral. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
That is who drowned. Yeah.
The girlfriend's husband was in a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
I guess there was a gathering around a pool. No one was paying attention. I don't know how you would miss that, especially with people around, but
Oh, God,
somehow, unfortunately, it happened.
I mean, that's just crazy.
You want to say that, oh, like this is too many coincidences. You know, there's too many coincidences here.
Way too many coincidences. Way too
We've
many.
said that with a lot of other cases too, though, you know, I mean, and they all
it usually ends up that they all have like serious suspect shit happening.
Right.
And then you find out that, you know, whoever was involved is really the shady ass, most evil dude that you could ever possibly imagine.
So I've heard online people saying that, you know, the first husband had passed away, that he was deceased, he was no longer with us. And I think a lot of people are confusing the girlfriend's husband and Micah's first husband. So from what I can tell, he is still in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I pulled up tax records. I found the properties that he owns, all the taxes that have been paid. It looks like there's been some personal property taxes, the real estate taxes. I also found, I believe he's working as a worship leader at another church in Myrtle Beach.
That's what I thought too when I was investigating that separately today. I think that's right. Mm-hmm.
So he still seems to be in that, you know, religious sector and doesn't, Micah had a type, you know, she went for a certain type. She was very religious and she was consistent with it, but is there more tying her to that than we know so far?
Right. Yeah. And yeah, there has to be. It's so crazy.
So what else did we find?
Let's see. I was just looking for this one. Is it this one?
If you see me swinging, there's a fly. He's like dive bombing me.
Oh, I was like, what? Oh my gosh.
I keep hearing him buzz around my head.
That's funny. Here, I'm going to bring this into the stream for a minute. So this is going over, if you guys haven't heard, so you know there's people here that have been watching this, people that haven't. It's just going to be the really brief announcement. I know many people have heard it, but you really can't hear it enough, of when John Paul announces to the congregation after preaching 2 sermons on the Sunday morning after the Saturday night when his wife apparently killed herself. In the last minute and 30 seconds of that second.
That's so strange, right? Like what you would think he would lead with that maybe, or like, how do you make it through an entire sermon?
2.
And keep it together.
Right. I know.
I couldn't. I don't know many people that could.
So not normal. Yeah, he's just.
Oh, we got to pull up the that marriage announcement too, or the engagement announcement. Because I haven't really seen that many places yet.
I haven't seen the picture either. No, I hadn't. That was.
And the only reason it caught my attention was because of the similarities.
I know. Yeah, it's crazy how much is for.
It really is.
You have to think that creeped Micah out at some point because she had to have realized it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You leave church quietly and don't talk about the announcement here in the building, please, if you can, so y'all can stand to your feet.
That part's weird to me. That's very strange.
Before I make the announcement, I also want to say that my request to you is that you will continue to come to church and serve and give for the next, little bit. I'm taking a little bit of a break, and I don't want to have to worry about the church. A break maybe a few days, a few weeks. I don't know. I got a call late last night. My wife has passed away, and it was self-induced, and it was up in North Carolina. And we're gonna have a funeral for her next Sunday here at 3 p.m. And so
it's gonna be weird.
I'm just going on adrenaline right now. So y'all pray for me and my kids and everybody. And y'all knew that she wasn't well mentally, and that she needed.
Who says that?
Hard to get to her. And so I'm sure there'll be more details to come, but just keep our family in your prayers. And I'm going to let Pastor Randall, my bishop, he can pray. I'll give him a microphone, he'll pray out. And if you have anything you want to share as well, I appreciate it.
I also want to bring in two people who knew Micah and John Paul very well. Ken and Alicia Young were members of the Solid Rock Church, and they often socialized with Micah and with John Paul. Thank you to both of you for doing this. If I can, Ken, let me start with you. You were a worship leader at this church. You were there 2019 to 2020. You socialized with this couple, Micah and John Paul. You went to movies. Can you describe for me what their relationship was like?
First of all, thank you for having us on. But, you know, it's kind of a loaded question. When we first met them, you know, I saw what, you know, on the surface, it seemed to be a happy relationship. There were just some things that I saw. So I got to know them more in ways that he would speak to her at times, and just was just kind of red flags. I can't say it was one particular incident, just like, oh my gosh, it was just kind of a consistent way that he treated her. And honestly, in some ways, he kind of treated a lot of women that way from what I saw.
So I want to ask you something. I know that you have mentioned before that one of the things that you really disliked about this church and the leadership of this church in particular was that there was, quote, immorality, hypocrisy among the leadership. With that in mind, it's a little astounding to learn that he met her when she was 14 as a member of the youth group, like the youth program there, and he was married with, I think, 5 kids. So was there did he have an affair with Micah and leave his wife and children to be with her? And if that's the case, how old was she when he did that?
So I remember a specific conversation that I had with him when that was brought up. And it was because I'd heard about that. Like there were rumors, you know, going around that their relationship even started in infidelity and things like that. And in my conversation with him, he did basically confirm that. He did not get into her age. What he said to me point blank was that she was in my youth group. We became friends. Over time, it became kind of something more. And that was probably the gist of it as far as I can remember now. I mean, it's been years ago, but it was a little concerning. And there were other members of the church.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there were other members.
That's very concerning, right?
Oh, very, yes. And there were other members of the church, though, that when I asked about it, that it was just kind of, it's something that kind of just everybody knew and accepted. And
let me ask you this, because you might give it a pass once, and maybe not. I mean, I wouldn't, but okay, some people might. They might get over it. But as I understand it, he's married, he has children, he meets a 14-year-old, eventually gets married to that older 14-year-old in her early 20s. And you know, I don't know, Alicia, if you can add to this, but he then allegedly begins another affair with a church member who has a husband who uses a wheelchair, who mysteriously ended up dead and drowned in a pool. Is that accurate?
Yes.
That's what we've been told by people who have reached out. We've spoken to former church members. We've spoken to current church members, and people, and also family. It's kind of common knowledge, and that's kind of why it's the head scratcher. And because it's like, if it's common knowledge, why hasn't something been said? But basically, what we've been told by people, Ashley, is that that he groomed her from a young age, and married her when he was able to, and but I will say that when I met them, on the surface, at least at that point in time, it seemed like a fairly healthy marriage. She didn't seem like.
Can I ask? Yeah, can I ask this, Alicia? I guess that the essential question here, Alicia, is: do you believe that it is at all possible that your friend Micah took her own life, or do you suspect that her pastor estranged husband is at fault here?
I absolutely do not believe that she took her own life.
That's what everyone has said. Like, for literally everyone who knows Micah, literally.
Yeah.
Have you heard anyone say otherwise?
I have, but very few and far between.
Yeah.
A lot of people tend to lean towards the, some kind of ulterior motive. There was something else going on.
Yeah, yeah. Or, some people say, well, anything is possible, but they're not like, oh, nobody really is like, I'm like gung-ho about going along with that narrative,
Yeah. It's hard not to, though. I mean, take into consideration all of the steps that she took that day. I mean, the coming, the going, the getting dressed for work. So I did come across that she was supposed to be at work at noon, I believe.
Noon, yeah.
She was supposed to be at work at noon. Coworkers were very, it was unlike her to not show up for a shift. Something, I don't know if they contacted someone, something triggered something there. But to make a sandwich, she leaves with a water. She stops at a gas station that's totally out of the way. I don't even know if it's a gas station that I would have stopped at in the middle of the day. I mean, it's just a very strange location, right?
It is.
She goes in, she buys a drink, but she's only what? How far away was she? 25 minutes from the state park. So why would you go through all that effort, and you're getting in your work clothes? And it's very unsettling.
It really is unsettling. It's almost like, it really does seem like a whole lot of effort for what you're going to do. So going through all the things that you were talking about here. So here she is. She's at home. She's outside of her apartment. She's wearing one thing here, and this is Grizzly True Crime. And then, we see her exiting her apartment through the Ring camera. Now she's wearing something different. It looks like to me like maybe this is what you'd wear to work, all black, right?
Right. And now if you look in the corner of her black shirt right there, you can see a logo.
Yeah.
And it's kind of got a circle. Oh, it might be blurred on this. I don't know. I've seen the ones without the blur on it. And there is a business name. And it was confirmed that was where she worked. So it looks like she's going to work.
What's the name of where she works?
J. Peters. I believe she was.
I can see, I can see Peters on it. Yeah, that is definitely it. Yep. Yeah, good call. Perfect. Wow, that's a really good call. And so she's wearing her workout clothes, uniform, whatever we call it. And here she is. Oh wait, that was earlier again. So it looks like she went out to get a coffee, maybe went for a run. I don't know. She was out and about with that.
Right. That was she'd come and gone.
Come and gone. And then she got changed into her work clothes. She ends up in this store. Let's just get something like where we can, it's a kind of a side view, which is valuable.
This whole video is very weird. She's she stands there forever while they're doing this entire process with her buying the firearm, and it just, the look on her face, she's always looking over her shoulder. She looks like she had been crying. Her eyes looked very puffy to me when I zoomed into this video.
Yep.
Something just seems off.
Yeah, I wish something definitely seems off, and I can't zoom into it here, guys, or else I would. Wait, what happens when I do this? Oh, no. Okay.
Yes, her father did say she was going to buy, that she had told her father she was going to buy the firearm for personal protection, that she felt that she needed it.
Right.
So she did tell people she was going to get it. So I don't doubt that she went there to pick it up.
Yeah. So, and another, I heard someone else talking about this. The gun she purchased is a Sig Sauer gun, which is a higher end gun.
Yeah, 9mm.
Yeah, so, people were saying, like, if you're just gonna well, I mean, I guess also if you're planning ending your life, money's not gonna really matter to you. It's not like she had kids she needed to take care of to leave more money.
But on
She
the
would
other
rather
hand, the same to piggyback off of that, you're saying, you're not worried about whether it's a high end or low end or how much you're spending, right? But why
Right.
go to the gas station and put gas in your car if you know that you're going to a state park
Right.
to do that afterwards? It just doesn't make sense.
Right, and why just not purchase, like, the cheaper gun, but rather get the Sig Sauer that's gonna cost $500 more?
Right. I don't know if any ballistics have been done yet. I don't believe they have, and
I don't think they're gonna.
we probably
They, like,
won't
don't wanna
hear.
investigate this.
Yeah, even if they do, we probably won't hear about it.
Just feeling what? I'm always feeling what, so, I mean, lost the obsession. Yeah, I know, why somebody asked yesterday in chat, like, did they do a forensic botanical, blah, blah, blah. It was a great question. I was just saying blah, 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 because it was such a great question. I can't remember all the words. That would have been freaking brilliant. It would have been able to tell where she was, who was, but there's so many investigative tools that are available to them that they haven't used, that they're not using. And,
Or that they can't use because they
gone.
went and listened to JP instead of doing what they should have done and doing their job. Which is another thing I came across too. Apparently in 2011, there was a funeral home or a cremation center, one of the two, that got sanctioned by the state. There's an article about it. I've got to find it, but
Okay.
I come across it earlier. This funeral home had gotten in trouble for cremating remains prior to autopsies being completed. So there's that too.
Wow. Now, were they getting paid off, or was it the issue
I'm
that
not sure. I didn't dive into the full article because I just kind of I crossed over it in passing when I was doing some research, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go back to that. That it caught my attention, and then when I went to go back to it, I got sidetracked and I didn't go back to it. So I'll find it and I'll
so
email it
easy
to
to
you. But
do?
that was interesting.
So easy to do. It is very
It is easy to
interesting.
do.
I mean, to get sidetracked
All the time.
when you're looking into this case. My gosh, there's so many different paths you can go down. It's just crazy. Let me advance just a little bit. See if we can
Okay,
hear.
so let's see. Funeral home cremated remains before autopsy. And this was in Horry County, Myrtle Beach Funeral Home.
Okay. Horry County. You know what other crime happened in Horry County? Too bad John McSmith is not there. I did a few videos on this a while ago, and I would always love to do more. But Heather Elvis. Do you remember Heather Elvis? She went missing in Peachtree Landing, and she was dating that guy that was much, much older than her with his super jealous wife. And
the Peachtree sounds familiar.
Peachtree Landing, Heather Elvis. I'll bring up a picture of her. You'll probably remember it. But we've talked about that. Well, I've done a few videos on it. We've talked about it definitely here in chat. We have one member, John McSmith, who is obsessed with that case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. I found this article.
Awesome.
So, lawsuit, funeral home cremated remains before autopsy. It's from September 23rd of 2011.
Okay.
And I'm going to email it to you just so you can see what I'm looking at.
Okay.
Now that I found it before I lose it again.
Are you on a
Me?
computer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you see how to do the doc share when you just look at, and you don't have to if you want to, but when you just
I
look
do,
at the
but when I
streamer-
did all my research, because I was busy and running around, I was doing it on my phone. So I didn't, I don't have them connected.
Gotcha.
So I have to start doing it, either emailing it to myself so that I can do it that way. So I did send you the email, but this was a Myrtle Beach funeral home. And in the lawsuit, they claimed that this funeral home was cremating remains prior to autopsies being completed. So that could be another piece to this.
Now, what is the law in South Carolina or in that jurisdiction about autopsies? Are they supposed to be done, or they are elective to the family?
I think it depends on everybody's individual situation. I'm not positive what the law is, but I think anyone under a certain age that wouldn't have any significant reason to pass away at, the age of 20 or 25 or 30 not showing any signs of sickness or illness or anything like that, you would think that they would do one.
Yeah. It's, I mean, it is really strange that she didn't have an autopsy. And then he said in the memorial that he had an opportunity to lay with her body.
Yeah, that was strange.
And that
was really strange.
Trying to raise her from the dead. Like,
and then we haven't even touched on the bruises and the scratches that her dad had talked about. And he has photos of her hands, and him and Micah's mother apparently had, kind of held each other's hands and tried to reenact what they thought could have happened. And they totally plausible. It could have.
That's right. That is another like super crazy point.
Her being lured, that's definitely a possibility too. I mean, I've seen people saying that people had firsthand accounts of JP being out of town and that they were there with him, but we haven't seen any photos. We've only seen videos of the outside of the truck. We don't know that he wasn't there, but that doesn't mean that he couldn't have hired someone and been talking to Micah the entire time and said, "Oh, meet me at the Lumber River State Park." She could have been going thinking she was going to meet him and picked up the thing at the pawn shop before she went because she felt like she needed protection from him. So maybe she thought she was going to meet him the whole time and it wasn't him that was there.
Too. Yeah. That's kind of what makes a little more sense to me than what we're supposed to be believing.
Right. And he didn't want an autopsy done. He wanted it taken care of as soon as possible.
Yeah, he did. He
wouldn't even let the family see until they signed off on the cremation. So that to me is just very bizarre.
It is really bizarre. Here, I want to play this little clip here. I think this is the one. There's some good information in it along the lines of what we're discussing. Oops, where's the volume? There it is.
Feds will now be assisting in joining the investigation. 30-year-old Mica Miller died by an apparent suicide back in April. But after a local investigation was conducted, the feds will now be assisting in the probe. Here are some surveillance photos from Micah's last day alive. Take a look. She appears to purchase a firearm from a nearby pawn shop before police say she killed herself. Now, Pastor John Paul Miller released a statement via his attorney denouncing any wrongdoing, saying, quote, baseless claims should stop immediately. John Paul Miller has not been charged relating to this case. So we want to be very clear with that. Our question, though, this morning is, could this apparent suicide become a criminal case? I have three great guests on the program to talk about it with me. Let me bring them in now. In the studio, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Noah Pines. Standing by remotely, criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Franz Borchardt, and entertainment reporter Kinsey Schofield. Great to see you all. This case is so heartbreaking and also somewhat mysterious. Noah, would you start us off on the conversation, please? Your thoughts on whether this could turn into a criminal matter?
Well, we've seen a couple suicide cases where people have gotten charged, but typically those people encourage the other person to commit suicide. I think that was a case that was covered here on Court TV maybe last year or the year before. It was a girl with a young, I think it was a high school student.
Right.
But, without some sort of encouragement, just if he's a horrible husband and posted naked pictures of her online and, psychologically abused her, for them to then say, well, she killed herself because of that, would be very difficult, if not impossible, to do criminally. You'd need some sort of encouragement to even get there.
Mm-hmm. Sure. I appreciate it, Noah. Franz Borchardt, to you next, please. What would you like to add to that, knowing this marriage was almost over? We know that Mica Miller had just served the pastor with divorce papers just days before this event. Your thoughts, please.
So to have a crime at a bare minimum, lowest standard in the criminal justice system, you have to have probable cause that more likely than not a crime occurred. And without evidence that a crime occurred, what we're left with is someone who sounded like she wanted to take her own life. And that nugget about the fact that her marriage was ending was certainly something that would give her a motive to do it. Tragic, unnecessary, horrible way to end a life when you take your own life. That being said, I am going to be open to hearing what theory a crime happened and whether or not there's sufficient evidence at the lowest bar, Julie, at the lowest bar, more likely than not, that probable cause exists. I'm open to hearing about it. I just haven't seen it yet.
Sure. And Franz, appreciate that point. As we know, John Paul Miller not charged here, completely innocent, cloaked in the presumption of innocence, no charges at all, and he may never face any charges. We just know this investigation has become broader. Now that the federal government is involved, it's a little bit different. Kinsey Schofield, this is where I want to bring you in, please. Do you think that the public outcry about this may have had something to do with the investigation continuing to grow larger and have more assistance?
Great question. I think it's the public outcry and Miller's family. You know, they just recently released these text messages from JP at the top of the Daily Mail this morning, where Micah is seeking refuge at a friend's house, and JP is sending text messages threatening those people, saying he's armed. You know, the family really wants justice for their daughter, and they are speaking out through attorneys that say, you know, we want to see her cellular telephone. We want to talk about the scratches on her body that we have photographs of. And they're really concerned because, you know, Micah told her father she was buying that gun for self-defense. And Micah had a hair appointment in the next few days. And she was talking to friends about planning a life beyond this chaos.
Right, Kinsey? Yeah, it just seemed to come somewhat out of nowhere. It didn't, you know, seemed.
And those are really important points. The plans that she had in the next days of positive things in her life, to get her hair done, to get together with her friends, figuring out how to pay for her car payment because she never had to do that before.
She'd even ship some things to Kenya in anticipation of being there part-time.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, and we do have to keep in mind that JP was not served the divorce papers until 2 days before.
Right, the 25th he was served.
Micah died, 48 hours before she died. I mean, would it, you know, and she was excited about it. She was so happy to divorce him, looking forward to her new life. Would it be more likely that Micah would, in 48 hours, just all of a sudden be like, oh, you know, I actually don't want to leave this dick face that's been abusing me for the past however many years? Or would it be more likely that JP, who we already know is highly unstable and has a history of impulsive, hedonistic behavior that completely lacks self-control, would, you know, spin off into a, you know, whatever happens with him, crazy stuff, obviously. I mean,
there's a lot of strange stuff to this.
It's
almost hard to keep track of it all because there's just so many different directions you could go in with it. It's really hard to keep track of.
It sure is. It sure is. Yeah, and I'm looking up the gun statistics, gunshot statistics, self-inflicted gunshot injury suicide statistics, and it's about 3,000 women in the United States die from self-inflicted gunshot injury.
Super rare.
Year, and it's a very small percent of the total of, unfortunately, of the total suicides in the United States each year among women. It's just
and she was so religious and proud of her Christianity, and it's very bizarre for her to choose that route. It just doesn't fit the narrative or the puzzle. It really doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, because isn't in all Christian religions, I mean, this might be an ignorant question, isn't like, you know, I know in like Catholicism, suicide is a mortal sin, right? Like you don't get past it. Is it kind of like that in all religions?
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, same. I'm pretty sure it's the same kind of across the board. I know it is with Christianity. I know that if you take your own life and you unalive yourself, that you no longer can be accepted, you know, at the gates of heaven. You can't, they don't believe in that. And for her to take an action that's so harsh, knowing how deeply involved she was with religion and her church and her belief, it doesn't jive with me. It's very unsettling.
And I mean,
I don't like the feeling it leaves me with.
No, absolutely not. And just, you know, a few days before, she's, you know, on Facebook, you know, in a video of herself talking about being the freaking bride of God, you know, like, I mean,
she was the bride of Christ before.
Yeah, exactly. Bride of Christ before anything else. Exactly. And it's everything is so incongruent. It just doesn't fit together by any means. And then someone like, JP could explain this by saying, oh, well, she's mental illness, but nobody else sees those indicators of her, like in life.
That's all he seems to bring up every time they are on any discussion of Micah. He likes to throw in some little piece about the mental health aspect, just because he has to keep that at the forefront of everybody's mind. So he wants to keep reintroducing that anytime he gets the chance, and he does it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. So, well, I am, unless you have like any final thoughts on this, I will let you go because I know that we started a little late and you do need to get some sleep and deliver your, what are you doing?
Oh, I have to deliver. I'm going to be the person to ruin everyone's day tomorrow because I have to serve people with subpoenas. So I'm going to track people down because that's what I'm good at. I'm going to find them and then here you go. You've been served. So I'm sure people are going to be pleased with me tomorrow. But
wow,
I think that we will keep doing some digging because there's a lot to go over.
Yeah, there is a lot to go over. We will definitely keep doing some digging and, I mean,
the more info that comes out and the more, we'll just kind of piece it together as we go.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all you can do.
I know there's a lot. We'll piece it all together though. We'll stay on top of it. Thank you everybody for accepting me on your live, even though I'm not usually in front of the camera.
They all love you. Everybody say bye to Rachel. She's awesome. We will definitely see more of her because
Thank you guys. I hope everybody has a great night. I'm going to jump off.
You too. Awesome. Have a good night, sweetie.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Isn't she great? I told you Rachel's great. And there's just so much information. Just, I mean, what does it all mean? Let's just look at a couple of the other like sort of strange receipts that, let's see. Yeah, she is great, right? Yeah, she is Kez chick. We're just gonna look at a couple of the other receipts that are out there that are super, I was gonna say a little weird, but kind of super weird. And then we'll go over them in greater detail in days to come because I do that live stream earlier and I'm tired. Oh, if you were there, I guess my comment is on Mommy Rambling video now, and she did respond to me being a B word. It's okay. Expect nothing different. Okay, here we go. I am really stuck on that court document where there's some kind of a filing or something today having to do with Mica Miller and her first husband, Jeremy's divorce. It's just so strange. Dated for yesterday. So much doesn't make sense. Oh, so this was a picture. I didn't bring it up while Rachel was here, but this is a picture that Rachel found that neither of us had seen. It's the engagement announcement for JP Miller and his first wife, Allison. And have you guys seen a picture of his first wife yet? She looks just like Micah. I mean, you can't see it really well here, but you probably get the gist. And she looks so much Micah. Holy cow. That is not Micah. That's his first wife, Allison. Not Micah, Allison. Not Micah, Allison. That's really crazy to me. Like, wow. Oops. No, I want to. Okay, there we go. And then what do we have here? Did that come up with it? Yeah, it did. Ooh, that's kind of small on me. I don't know. So this is okay. Oh, I really need to make. Oh, I can do that. Okay. So what does this say? Work with me, baby. Work with me. Okay. All right. John Paul Miller is a male. His occupation is a music minister. And his employer is a Charleston Cafe, Southern Sisters Tea Room. He's also a pianist, and the employer is the Cathedral Baptist. at a location. And whoops. Oh, wait, hold it. What am I looking at here? Marriage date. No. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So that's the marriage certificate of Micah and JP. Is that right? It's let me make it bigger. I just have to keep it small. No. Come on. Oh, no, I'm sorry. This is the divorce. I'm sorry. This is the divorce information for him and his first wife. Marriage date. Oh my gosh, 2000. I'm reading it's 2020. Okay, gotcha. This is the marriage of of Micah and her first husband. You don't know. They happen in the same place with a lot of the same people around. Your car. What is this here? Tax records, signed priest. Okay, so just showing he does live in South Carolina. That's Jeremy, the first husband. There's something I wanted to show you specifically here, but maybe it's not. It's not. We'll look at it next time. But yeah, there's still so much to look over. So much to look over. They look like twins. Micah and his first wife, Allison, truly look like twins. It's just crazy. Looks sure are deceiving, Justice A through Z. We know that. Hey, Ara, how are you doing? Yes, she did. Off topic, but I'm going to read it. Thank you, Amanda K. Oh my God. Mommy Ramblings bitch told complete and ridiculous lies about Kelly. What? I couldn't believe what poured from her mouth. I couldn't either. From out of nowhere. I mean, I've never had beef with her. I've always just like, she's been like channeled. It's like not my kind of thing. Always stood up for her because people are mean to her, and I don't want anyone to be mean to anybody. So, and that was about it. Amanda says, I've never heard you say the things that she claimed that you said because I've never said them. And I did you see the live stream earlier? Were you there? And I had to answer. I had to clap back to that because it was just such horrible things and none of them are true. So it's just a waste of time, man. She's a waste of time. I don't know. Yep. And she did put my comment up in the comment section and then she said something back. Should we switch topics and look at that? I kind of want to see what it says. Yeah, I don't like her. Ew, that was such a gross thing in my day. Like, where did you come from? Oh, we just hit 50,000 subscribers here at Watch the Obsession. Thank you so much for everything and all your support, guys. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. Sometimes people get stuck and they don't like when others move on. You know, and sometimes my growth is slower and others become very successful and good for them. That's freaking terrific. Like, but anyway, what I really want to say is thank you guys. B word. What's your here? Let's see. I couldn't believe this, Nancy. I told you don't mess with Nancy. Do not mess with Nancy. Whatever you do, you'll be sorry. Nancy Ann's the one that told me about this because she knows everything. What's your obsession? What's the obsession? Is obsessed with repeating lies and speculating about a murdered family. I hate when people call Shanann a murdered woman or them a murdered. I just feel like that's really disrespectful, but that's just me. What is your real obsession? What's the obsession? I think the answer is clear. Dollar, dollar, ching, ching, dollar, dollar, ching, ching. Please.
Father Chris Watts and then stuffed into an oil battery tank.
We know.
This is disgusting. You know, I've seen a lot of Watts channels. I've seen a lot of them over the years.
But mine's the worst, clearly.
And this one here, constantly using a child. Wow. I've seen them attack Shanann. I've seen them attack the family.
I have oh my God. Those of you that have seen my content on Bella and Cece, I absolutely adore those girls. I mean, I just absolutely, especially I love Bella. And her whole premise here is, as Nancy said to me in text, oh my God, Kelly, she's saying that you use Bella to incite hate among people in the true crime community. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I've seen attacks on the kids, but not as blatant as this. Okay? The real story. What do you know of Bella? Truthfully, what do you know that you haven't just heard from Cindy or made your own opinions and you state them as fact? And
oh, that's another thing. She's convinced that I am working for Cindy and Ronnie Watts to disseminate their information and to spit their narrative. But those of you, well, if you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm sorry, I usually don't like this drama stuff, but she was just so fucking mean to me last night too, and it was none of it was true. Anyway, I always say that, you know, it's important that we respect both of the victims' families, and I've stuck by that consistently all throughout because I believe that wholeheartedly after being involved in, you know, learning probably. Hi, honey. Hi, little bunny. Want a bunny break? Come here, Skylar. Come here, Skylar. Come here, Skylar. Maybe a bunny break. Oh, I almost just knocked this whole table over. Let me see if I can do it without knocking the table over. Come here, Skylar. Hi, honey. Oh. Yeah, you know Mommy Ramblings is a bitch. We need a bunny break. Oh, you don't want to right now? All right. She might be pregnant. She's one we picked up. Oh wait, why are we just looking at her like exclusively? Nobody really wants that. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I have to turn my camera off. My nose is gonna start running. My allergies. I keep talking about her so bad right now. I wish that this pollen or whatever it is thing would pass through. I don't even know. It's just freaking ridiculous, guys. Oh yeah, both of the grandparent sets. I absolutely adore them. It's like one of my only channel rules that we need to respect them. And when people speak poorly about them, I always stand up for them. In fact, my entire, like that whole horrible thing that happened with that dipshit Dave, who really is the only creator that I've ever had any real drama with. There was like one other thing. There was like a day of weirdness and it was like past. Was because it was the final straw when you guys, many of you know this story. I have this video on my channel. It was a Boxer Day video the day after Christmas a few years ago, 3 years ago. I don't know, a couple of years ago, some amount of years ago. When he started publicly accusing Mrs. R of putting a hit on her daughter and her grandchildren. And this is something that like privately he was saying, and it was like, is he joking? He can't be serious about that. That's so like psychotic. Like he must kind of be joking, not joking. I don't know. Like, you know, he's trying to get a reaction out of you. He said it to me and several other people several times. And then when he finally tried to push it to the public, I was like, some of you guys were in that chat. I remember. I was like, oh, hell no, that is not happening, because they were bagging on Mrs. R They were saying horrible things about her, being so mean-spirited to her, and then ultimately only to say that she called a hit on her own child. F that man. And that was how like the whole thing blew up. And, you know, I don't think I should be a martyr or anything for it, but because of that, I suffered dearly. I mean, the things that that man did to me were like, some of you know, they were just horrible. He caused so much damage in my life. I haven't even told like all of the story like publicly because it's just too hurtful. And I also don't want him to feel any sense of satisfaction that I am putting it out there. Yeah. One kangaroo short in the top paddock. Oh, mommy ramblings. Yeah, she really is. Oh, she's a bully. Yeah. Edward says, I think you could expect her to target you for a while. Hopefully she gets bored and moves on soon with her crap. Some other people have said that to me as well. Damn, man. I don't like that. I don't like hate and stuff. Like, well, some people do like it. That's the whole point, I guess. But you don't welcome that, so it'll have to end one way or another. Someone told me that there's certainly more than one creator that had to serve her with a cease and desist order, which is what I ultimately had to do with Dave, but a special one that survived international boundaries. That was interesting to figure out. Edward says, kind of was joking about a little while ago, you have more subscribers than her. She's possibly pissed about that, which would be super petty. Yes, you guys are freaking amazing. Aw, Judy Lynn, my bunnies are all different colors. So the ones that I was breeding for a while, I was breeding Holland Lops, and they're special because they're Vienna marked Holland Lops. So like in nature, only white bunnies are going to have blue eyes, right? So but the Vienna mark gene is going to allow the bunny to be like any color bunny could have these like really awesome blue eyes. So those were the ones that I was breeding for a while, but then I found out I'm a terrible bunny breeder because I'm a super animal lover. Like I've been a vegetarian since I was 14. I had a hard time like giving up a bunny for somebody like handing me a check. I was like, nope, I need 15 references. I'm going to do an inspection of your home. There better be a nice fluffy mattress for that bunny to sleep on. You know, it was like probably ridiculous, you know, things that I asked of people, and I get it. So I don't breed them anymore because I just realized I just didn't like that I just felt kind of not what I wanted to do. So now I just have 26 bunnies. Actually, my son informed me we have 28 pet bunnies because he forgot to count 2 of them the other day. Oh. Yeah, well, Amanda K says, now back to MR bitch, that when I heard all what she was saying, I even thought, okay, does she maybe have her channels mixed up? Because she's not said anything that Kelly has said or done. And I think that she did in part get her channels mixed up because, for example, in the earlier live stream today, when I was like, when I was clapping back at this, she was saying how I kept pointing out like these bruises that Cece had and evidence of child abuse. But the only time I did that was one time, and it was specifically in a video that I made specifically to say, guys, hey man, I hate to break it to those of you who wanted to be there, but there was no open CPS case for Shanann Watts. There simply wasn't. What you think is that is really this. And this bruise here that Cece has that certain channels keep pointing at, saying that it's child abuse and neglect indicator, is really a bruise from an IV because Bella and Celeste had just gotten home that day from having their adenoids taken out, and they were obviously under anesthesia. So debunked, that, you know, mystery was solved. But, you know, she, I don't know, man. I like your last comment. Let's see. I will do that, Justice A through Z. I just trust. True stuff. Not the sharpest tool, but a tool nonetheless. That is a great comment. You're right. That needs to be highlighted for sure. When they yelled out brains, she thought they said trains, and she missed her. You guys are cracking me up. Edward, yes, please email me. I'll look for it. One French fry short of a Happy Meal. Oh my God, I love you guys. Oh no, there's more. One one brick shy of a load, and she's on a roll. Oh my God. One French pie short of a Happy Meal. Oh my God. Hi, sis. How are you? I love my sis. Without me, she won't have. Yeah, I know. I guess that is what she does. She just has a history of bashing people, bashing channels. I never paid that much attention, but now that I think about it, I mean, she did some, like early on in the Watts case, she did some, she put out some good information, but let's hear more of what she has to say. I feel brave now that I'm with you guys. Bring it, bitch. Bring it.
And something you saw in a snippet of a video, right? You know nothing. But hey, if I put a thumbnail exploiting a 4-year-old who was murdered, I can get views and clicks and money.
Anyone who's familiar with my channel, when have I exploited Bella or Cece? When? I mean, when have I ever said anything unkind about those two little angels? I mean, what she doesn't understand is, and what she doesn't know about me is that, she was like questioning if I even like graduated from college, say I'm some behavioral analyst, blah. So I told her that I'm not that. I'm a behavioral therapist, and I did graduate from several universities, Villanova, Temple University, and then Purdue. So to the extent that I use my professional skills in this channel to help us frame conversations about things that are matters of human interest to us all, yeah, I'm qualified to do that.
How do you sleep at night? Well,
fine.
Oh boy. Okay.
I can fall asleep anytime, anywhere. Like, give me a freaking slab of concrete and I don't know, like it just needs to be maybe the right temperature and I'm good to go.
It's really sick, and the kids are used consistently in these thumbnails. Here's another one. A day in the life of Shanann Watts, filled with videos of her kids. Of course, do you think it's saying anything nice about her? Do you think it incites any lovely comments? Again, here we go. Now listen to this one.
Well, wait a minute. Hold up.
MLM perfect post. Bella Watts pulls Cece by the ear.
She does. Whoops.
Cite hate for Bella. And it's obvious it worked because I can't even read to you a comment that she has up there.
Now, this about the horrible commenter, I was saying this earlier too. Many of you have heard this ever since I started this channel. There's this one person that I did a couple of videos of Bella early on because I just have so much love for Bella. And I know most of you do too, because Bella is love. And you are not Mommy Rambling, so you leave my Bella alone. This person just had it in
about Bella.
Oops, these terrible things about little Bella. And they were and horrible. Yeah, they are horrible. They started out mildly. I remember one thing that they used to say all the time, like on the first video that I ever had about Bella, and that was just her singing or something, was they would call her Chris Watts shit stain, which I thought was such a weird thing to say. I was like, who the heck says anything like that? And that was kind of the consistent comment that they said. But then they started getting a little brazen and no, you are good. I would have texted you, but it happened so quickly and I needed to get it over with. Oops, oh, I really have to stay on track or I fall totally off. Oh yeah, and then their comments from this one person started to get really bad. Now, even after the person said Chris Watts shit stain, I removed the comment. I blocked him after like 3 times. Like, that's it. You're obviously not a responsible human being. You cannot be here. Bye. And I don't block a lot of people, and this person would keep coming back with a different name. So, and to this day, they're still doing that. So, maybe somebody who has had a YouTube channel longer than me and should be smarter and wiser about such things, like Mommy Ramblings, could advise me on how perhaps I could get rid of those comments in that person when they continue to just make a new channel, a new name, which they're totally allowed to do, and YouTube does not stop. And then they come back and they say even meaner things about Bella because they won once again by even being able to create a new channel that they can come and comment on my channel with. one point, and it was for like 6 months, I had 2 moderators dedicated exclusively to going through the comments, looking for that person. Now, they'd always have a different name, but you knew it was them because it was like the nasty comments about Bella. Remove the comments, block the person, and then there's been a few times when this person has just gone away for a little bit, and then a few months later they come back. So, tricky, man. I don't like that either, but you know, she's talking about one comment. Well, I'm sorry, honey. My channel has almost 700 videos and tens of thousands of comments. One's going to slip through the cracks every now and then. And it is unfortunate, but it's certainly like realistic and understandable. Ugh. Hope your mom's move was good, Sis Fish. Is she all settled into wherever she was going? Yeah, she was really mean. She might be envious. She was mean though. Yeah, I have an email. It's whatsobsession@gmail.com. And I'll definitely be checking my email after this because a lot of you guys are asking for it. So please email me whatever you got, whatever you want to say or ask, and I will check. Thank you, Sherry. You're so sweet. Thank you. Love you guys back. Who is this person? Mommy Rambling, she calls herself. And boy, does she ramble. Isn't she monetized? Oh, absolutely she is. She made an absolute killing off the Watts case more than anything else. We're talking like, well, I don't know. I saw the stats at some point, but it was a lot. You defended her in a chat ages ago and got blocked. I tried to go into the chat on her channel for a while and they didn't accept me. They did not accept me. They were like mean girls. They did not like me. I even threw her a couple super chats because I just wanted, I don't know why. I just wanted them to accept me. And they absolutely did not. So I just was like, you know what? This channel kind of sucks anyhow. So that was easy. Oh, yeah. Okay. So Nancy N, my savior, don't mess with Nancy, guys. I'm telling you. I mean, like, look at, like, she makes things happen. Look at all this. If it weren't for Nancy, Mommy Rambling bitch would be over there blabbing away about me, and I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't even be able to defend myself. I'd be like a bunny just sitting waiting for my predator to come attack. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy says she, meaning Mommy Ramblings, whatever, was the most vocal about Kessinger being involved. Now, anyone who claims that is a conspiracy theory, hypocrite much? Oh, yeah, that's one of her big beefs with me is that, you know, I absolutely believe Kessinger was involved. You guys know that. I absolutely have major issues with Rourke. I am not like really hard to figure out. And I think that you can see this as you look back over the, 3 years of my channel. I'm pretty damn consistent. I say change my mind sometimes just because I'm a human being. And sometimes you change your mind a little, but I absolutely change my mind if evidence comes forth that's telling me I need to, because above all, I hope to be a logical and rational person. And I hope that comes out when I'm talking about true crime, since there are so many illogical and cuckoo people out there. Yeah, just to say through Z says there's one person that really came at me. I was like, bring it. We have to protect ourselves. Yeah, I'm like, I'll bring it. Yeah, bring it. Oh, I think she probably is. I never really thought about it but from what some people you guys have told me and from what I'm kind of like seeing, she seems like she's that type. Yes, those Asheville people are stuck in 9th grade. Sounds about accurate to me. She does owe me an apology. Thank you. You know what? Thank you. I think she does too. Now that I know my post actually is there, I can read it to you and then I can read you her response. It made me think of it because I ended saying, I will accept an apology if you decide to do the right thing. Yeah. So let's get this. Ooh. It was a long response. I did not proofread it. Whoa, it's really long. This just came pouring out of my fingertips because I was like, bitch. I just couldn't believe it. That's, other than Dave was, Dave was a whole different level of vile, but I never really had something like this happen. Okay, so, oops. Where'd it go? All right, well, there you are. Okay. I'm going to read to you. I said, first of all, and most importantly, I stand by both families, and I fully believe Chris Watts is where he belongs. And as I say every time I'm on, he's a disgusting, dirty bastard, a murderer, no doubt about that. Because she was saying that I'm like saying, oh, like Chris Watts should be free, and I just want to criticize the victims. I've always supported both families in a number of ways and always will. You have completely mischaracterized my channel, and I'm sorry you don't like me. I'm not sure why you're so angry. Here's what's true. You don't know if NK was involved or not. No one does, for sure. Why is your speculation better than anyone else's? I have stood up for you time and time again when creators and viewers attack you. Have you watched my videos about Bella? If you did, I believe that you would sense my care for Bella and for children in general, and you would know that is part of who I am, to speak out for children who have suffered abuse and neglect. I am a behavioral therapist, and my channel has always been to explore issues of justice and human dynamics, focusing on identifying families and people in crisis, so you can love them and help them. I have donated a significant percent of revenues, and this is on certain months that I designated, not every month. Let's see. I'm saying to you, but I don't feel like I owe her any explanation. To families, the families, meaning both the R and Watts family, yes, and causes close to Shanann's heart or that defend children. I've also, in their names, by the way, I have also made several videos debunking a current or even previous CPS case in defense of Shanann and the truth. 2 videos. I never said I had the only interview of anything, because she's claiming I'm saying, oh, I make like, the content that I have or whatever more important than it is. I certainly don't mean to do that. But the channel is Watts the Obsession. I've spent certainly a lot of time researching this case. Other people will tend to come to me to bring information about this case, perhaps just because of my name. It's just the karma I created for myself. Okay, fine. I never mean to mislead anybody. And I said some content I have is very hard to find these days. Good luck finding the 2 full Nicole Kessinger interviews that you mentioned. People want to hear them, and I provide them the content. I guess which really got her panties in a bundle was, ew, her panties. Ugh. Why'd you say that, Kelly? Was a video I uploaded last night, which was the August 17th phone interview with Nicole Kessinger and Kevin Kobach, when she says, I can, do this and that for you guys, but just don't fucking let me down. And then the second half of it is redacted, and then I have the transcript that I read out for it. Similar with the 21st video. I've asked people a while back to try to find either of those in their entirety, because I wasn't planning on doing the video. I didn't want to read all that transcript. It's just not, it's like not interesting to me, and it's like you lose your voice. I just didn't want to do it, but I wanted the information because I wanted the information. It was not out there anywhere at the time that we found. So I had to create it myself. That's how that went down, Okay, fine. People wanted it. Okay, I can do that. I'll make it. Now we have it. The nasty comments about Bella, I've addressed thousands of times, and I just explained this to you with that crazy guy, okay? I absolutely do not attack the children. I never had and never would. That's just so stupid to me. Also, you are talking about me showing Cece's bruises. What the fuck are you talking about? I've never, ever, not once done so much as mentioned Cece's bruises in any of my videos, except for to say Shanann does not have an open CPS case. You must have confused me with another channel, because a lot of people, I know some channels that do talk about those bruises in a bad way. And I will accept an apology if you care to do the right thing. You know what? And right now, what I'm doing by even reading this is playing into her game, because now she's going to get some views. She's going to get some subscribers. You know, her channel for the next week or so, hopefully not more, is going to survive off of this drama that she's created and maybe some other drama she created with somebody else. And you know what? But okay. So at least I'm doing it consciously. Yeah. So, a reply. I wonder who that is. Oh, look. So she says, you are the one who is lying about me. You said I hate you. I don't hate anyone. It sounds hateful to me. You said I dirtied your name and your reputation. I don't think I said that though, but why do you care about anything said about you that is based on your videos and feel the need to defend yourself? There should be a period or a comma or some kind of grammar there, syntax. I feel the need to defend myself because I take pride in what I do. I take pride in my integrity and honesty, in my commitment to things that are meaningful, in my opinion. And also, I am a certified professional in an area of work where the kind of crap that you're saying is really just not cool. So I've got to shut it down now. God forbid you decide to be a real asshole and, you know, do whatever. She says, so okay, and then her lack of, you know, punctuation or whatever. So why do you feel the need to defend yourself, but judge and criticize Shanann based solely on her videos, and she does not have the opportunity to respond and defend herself? Well, that's like not even a jointed like idea there. I mean, these things are so, and I don't just criticize her for the sake of criticizing her. We've talked about it a million times. You know, the issues I saw within their household and how I tried to handle them, and also the great things about Shanann and how I have handled them and celebrated them on my channel in many different videos dedicated to celebrating her. I get to do that if I want, because I think it's real. It's so important to you to have your say, but you say she did not have lupus. Right. And I explained that I do have lupus, and everyone I know who has lupus and knows this case does not think she does. I could be wrong about that. But when people ask me, when they push me for an answer on it, that's what I've said. In my heart of hearts, I don't think she did. You say she was abusive to Bella and Cece. She was at times, and I don't think she realized it. And we've talked about all of that too. In your book, that is okay, right? Well, with all of the disclaimers and qualifiers I just threw in there, because I do use them when I talk about this, so I'm clear to people and they can understand, yeah, obviously I think it's all right, or I wouldn't do it. I don't have a broken moral compass. You talk out of two sides of your mouth. That would be a cool trick, wouldn't it? So that's that. And I have stuffy nose. Yeah. Sorry for subjecting you guys to any or all of this, but that's just that, I guess. See, okay, cool. There we go. Her voice annoys me bad. Yeah, I don't like it either. I'm so tired of people criticizing each other over modesty. I know. Who is this person? I don't know, man. She's Mommy Ramblings. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I don't have a better description, but she does a lot of arts and crafts on her channel and does that like sells products to make money thing. And she has a lot of live streams, or she used to, that like last overnight, and they're just like a bunch of ladies like doing arts and crafts and talking to each other for about 8 or 9 hours. And she talks about some true crime. But she doesn't like create videos, or, you know, she was going on and on and on and on and on and on and on about my thumbnails, but I don't, you know, it's like, I don't know what the problem is. Like when the girls are in them, they're always like super cute. It's not like I post any pictures of them that are like, you know, mean or to pick on them by any means. I would like never do that. They're so sweet. I just love them. How can she not know that? I thought everyone knew that. I'm just kidding. But so let's look at those terrible thumbnails. get it. Oh my goodness. Ew, she won't go away now. She's like stuck in the corner. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. Oops, can you see this? I'm not sure. No. Oh, sorry. I just had to. Sorry about that. All right. So here's these terrible thumbnails. Watts Unredacted interview. Y'all. Skanky and Pinata, cute little girls, and Chris Watts. I always like putting that picture of him wearing that shirt because it says, I'm a proud dad. And we're like, yeah, right, whatever. See, so then this one in the middle, we have Shanann and the girls. Super cute picture. D.A. Rourke, Corrupt, Nicole Kessinger, Skanky and Pinata, and of course, Chris Watts, Dirty Bastard. Okay, pretty straightforward here. I love this picture of them all with their Mickey ears. And it just makes you think, like, oh my God, look, he was parading around as though he was like a good dad and husband and Mickey ears. And look what he did, you know. What happened in Watt's basement? Look at Sweet Bella holding on to her mommy and Cece just being silly. I mean, like, what? How is this mean to them? I don't get it. 911 call. Look at Bella and Cece there. They're so cute. That's like their real personalities, I think. Yeah. 3 good pictures of Shanann. Chris Watts' confession. Those arrows are supposed to be devil's horns, but they're pointing at Nicole Kessinger. You know, I mean, seriously. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I don't know. I spend a lot of time on my thumbnails as I do my edited videos because I want to put out a high quality product to you guys because that's what you deserve. Oh. Yeah. Well, this is a long time ago. I pointed out to her that you were debunking the CPS claims, and she just tried to gaslight me that you were saying there was a CPS case. No, I wasn't. I mean, you know that. She obviously didn't watch the video, or she's just like straight up motherfucking stupid. Oh. See. Let's see here. Whoops. She's taking over where Dingo left off. Good Lord. But she hates them. Right. Beach bum, lucky me. Jody says she played. Wait, they were playing. They were playing audio of her when she was very distressed. When who was? I just want to understand what you're saying so I can think about it and respond. Oh, right. Yeah, I heard her say this too. And I think she was kind of implying this was like me, but this isn't me at all. I don't think I've ever been cheated on. I am never been married. I choose not to be in a relationship right now because I'm focusing on raising my son and it's a conscious choice. That's how I want it to be. I love women. I don't have anything against women. Like, I am a lover. I don't like have, I don't know. I've never had that. Have I ever been jealous of a female? Of course I have. I've been like in high school and had a boyfriend or whatever, right? But you guys know this about me. I don't need to like I like to see other women succeed. I think it's an awesome thing, and I support people and women as much as I possibly can. So Amanda says, oh, you're so funny. And how she said women have been cheated on, like have like complexes, and that's why they go after NK because their men cheated. So they're just mistress haters. Yeah, she used the word witch hunt many a times too. Anyone says, like, thanked her for helping you get to 50K, making folks aware of your channel. I think I got there first, but thank you for thanking her. I appreciate that. She should be thanked. Nancy thinks that y'all going to be blocked, and she doesn't like that. It's okay, Nancy. We're going to make you a nice fancy alt. You can go comment still because you are badass, Nancy. We cannot have you on the disability like players list or whatever. Like, you know, when a basketball player's benched because they hurt themselves, that's what I mean. The words aren't coming to me easily right now. Dingo ate my baby. Oh my god. I told them it was disgusting and very pointed with blah 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 that person for doing this. Who'd you tell that to? I feel like I'm getting every other one of your posts. Jody is cool, but thank you for being here. You're awesome. This Fisher says, "Oh my God, Kelly, have I told you my feelings on this lady? Are we surprised? Literally the epitome of a self-righteous entitled boomer." Yeah, I was telling my son today. He was somewhere, and I was telling him I was doing that live earlier, and I was telling him what's going on. I was like, "She's like a super Karen," you know. And he's like, "Yeah, that's a good description, Mom." And when we were getting out of the car, his conclusion was, "Yeah, no, you should definitely do that live." She like those comments are coming from a place of sheer jealousy, and that's just gross. So ew to her. That's right, son. Ew. Oh wait, Rachel's back. Rachel or Whisker is what'd you say here, honey? Guys, I forgot to bring up the video of JP laying in the grass talking like Mickey Mouse from 2015ish. Yeah, we watched that the other night. That was weird. That one, that was real weird. My son and I both believe that he was feigning a nervous breakdown there very poorly. I was telling you the other day, I see a lot of psychotic breaks, nervous breakdowns, reactions to psychotic medication in, over the years and what I do with teenagers. And yeah, a lot of that. And and everything's different. Everyone's different. And that's that. But I truly, I've never seen anything that even kind of resembled that. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, everyone can use hashtag blocked by mommy ramblings. Oh, is that a thing? Gosh, she's got a whole history I didn't even know about. I just never really cared about her. Oh, I love that, Jody. Jody is cool. Says, I speak up now, especially with women's rights to privacy and safety. I love that. That's great. Kelly, you should put us on pause, get sweats on, and show with us. That sounds amazing. Edward says, because schoolyard bullying is exactly what this is. It's on the mental level of a teenager. Yeah, exactly. Totally. Hey, honey. No offense to the teenagers in the room, Hey, how are you? Oh, I need to mute so I can talk to my teenager. I just assigned my child to slave labor. We can move on now. Just kidding. He's going to feed the bunnies, some of them. Let's see. So Pretty Bird, hi Pretty Bird, how are you? I didn't get a chance to say hi to you yet today. Says, thinks she was listening to another channel. If she has issue, then she should be a real woman and speak her mind and alive. Yeah, totally. Jody is still reeling from her shock and awe because she's saying, I just didn't expect this from her. I'm so annoyed, damn it. Went out of my way to stick up for her. I have too, Jody. I have too. Yeah. There's a channel out there that she really hates and they don't hold back. Maybe is that Meredith channel too? Yeah, and I mean in that channel, I mean some of them I'm kind of like just like, damn, whoa, 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 and I guess to each their own. But like the things that are said on some of those more extreme channels in that regard, I would never come out of my mouth because they don't even enter my brain. I don't, and we all know I have said things that are critical of Shanann, and it's not for nothing, as people say. There's always a specific purpose behind it. I give a lot of thought to it, and I am careful about what I say before I say it. But when I do say it, you know what? I do mean it, and I try to explain the best I can so it's not taken out of context. But some people are just dumb. She really needs to put her big girl panties on. Ugh, I'm gagging again. Why do we keep talking about her panties? Let's stop doing that, guys. I know I brought it up first. I'm sorry. Said they were in a bundle. Remember Me says MRB uses the rubrics for income. That's all she cares about, her monetization, not about the grieving family. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, and I'm sure that our family, some of the topics I've discussed, they wouldn't love, however they feel about it, it wouldn't be like, oh yeah, that's awesome. And I have exchanged with them on some of the things. I've asked permission before to use things. I've given heads up about certain things before. We've had other completely different conversations. We have talked about some of the dedication videos I made for Shanann. And I'm not going to share the entire, what was said because it was something, an exchange I had with a grieving mother or family members. And I'm not exploiting them. So I don't need to talk about the details of that. But what I do know is we're good. We're fine. We're good. So, let the R family worry about it if they're worried about it. But, everyone else worrying about me or whoever for them, they don't know what they really think. They don't know what really has been said between people, clearly. She sounds like a real see you next Tuesday. Yeah, she does, doesn't she? Now I need to apologize to Miss Mensa. Maybe she was right about her. I don't even know about the falling out that Miss Mensa and Mommy Ramblings had. I hate gamer son. That's right. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Squirrel on Fire. She's lurking. Come lurk, babe. Wow. It is funny that she's sticking up for NK now. Let's listen to more of what she says. I feel brave. Once again, I feel brave now that you guys are here. We're coming back, Mommy. Coming back, Mom. Here we come. Stuck up for her so many times. People say very mean things about her. I don't know. I just felt like I've stuck up for her so many times because I just have. I'm very naive sometimes.
Because it's so disgusting, I won't read it out loud. I won't even give a voice to it. But you think this is okay? She takes the kids' videos, she picks them apart, She tries to find things, and that's not the only video.
No,
She
no.
has tried to.
Correction. I don't try to find things. Some of the videos we have watched, I have observed, I have used my skills of critical thinking and analysis that I've learned through my training and career in education, and then as a behavioral therapist, because I transitioned at some point and I did other things too where I use those things. And then I discuss them, but I'm not looking for anything. I'm not trying to make something there that's not there. So once again, you're wrong. She's kind of stupid, isn't she?
Hurt Bella, her memory, everything by saying these. But it's said under this guise of, isn't that just this or that, right? No, that's not what your thumbnail says, right?
What?
You know that's not what you're trying to do. You're trying to incite hate.
Oh my God.
For a child murder victim.
Oh my God.
Because it works for you. Because all those people, right, that get and enjoy that kind of thing, you're keeping it going. Here's another one. Bella Watts. Why are you making video after video of a 4-year-old murder victim? I just want to know that.
Let me tell you why. Because, well, my channel is Watch the Obsession, if you're able to read that. And I feel that there were some issues in that household that were harmful to those children. And I don't say that to disrespect Shanann. I say that only because Shanann, by her own choice, provided Facebook with so much material, videos, and photos of the family. Obviously, she didn't know what would happen with them. And obviously, she didn't know her life would end at age 33. And obviously, we only have picture and these stories and this history of Shanann until she was 33. And then it's done. It's been stolen. Her life was stolen. The history was ended abruptly. And like that's all that there is. So she is in many ways a mystery, as are these children. But anyway, from what we can observe in the relationships in that household, there are very clear indicators that the Watts family and that Chris and Shanann Watts individually were heading into a state of crisis. So for me, professionally, as a crisis intervention specialist, it's like what or not. Well, no, that's what I am. It's like one of the responsibilities my job has, kind of by proxy, or no, that's not by proxy. That I have contractually where I work. We have a crisis management team, and they're all people who are trained, hopefully some in different ways, so we can bring a ranging and hopefully comprehensive set of skills to situations where we are dealing with individuals who are in a state of crisis. And for privacy laws and ethical reasons, I'm not going to say anything more about that because I would never want someone to hear me speaking on this, hear me give a detail, and think that I am talking about them and have that trust between myself and a person who either was in crisis or is in crisis and is vulnerable to be in crisis again, but be betrayed, because that is what's most important to me. So anyhow, I see those indicators in the Watts family, and I see Bella and Celeste, who are most at risk for being put in a position of danger because their family was so clearly spiraling out into a situation where they were in crisis. And once a person or family is in crisis, everything is out of control. It's like all of the balls started rolling down the hill. You can't stop them. They're like giant boulder craters of whatever the heaviest material is on Earth. And then the crisis just plays out. So one of the things you try to do when you're trying to manage a crisis situation is to get to the person or peoples before they hit that critical time when all of those, like steel boulders are rolling down a mountain that's at 90 degrees, and whatever is beneath is going to get crushed. Damage is already done, whether it's done or not. Like right now, it's going to be within like 3 seconds, and you can't do anything about it. So do you know how many people in this world are in this place where they are on the verge of being in crisis? How many families are? How many familial situations, just like the Watts, as we see them here, are headed into a state of crisis for many of the same reasons that the Watts family was already there? Financial reasons, undiagnosed mental illness in the self. And I talk about both Chris and Shanann in that light because I personally believe, and this is my opinion, that was the case for both of them. The stresses of parenting, unhappiness in a marriage. I stress again, financial dire straits like they were in. It is a really relatable situation, and you have no idea how many people have given me feedback saying that, and I don't take this as a like pat on the back to me. I take this as, that's so awesome. My God, thank God that people who are, in such a desperate state of crisis, they're being reached, they're listening, and they're able to be rehabilitated so they can return to life as a whole person who enjoys their life, because that's what each of us deserves. That's what Shanann deserved. What Chris deserved before he decided to do this. And it's certainly what Bella and Celeste deserved. So I know, based on all of you guys, the feedback I get from people, the specific stories even I get from people about, how they were heard about this family and like this crisis situation, the way that we frame it in those terms, and it clicked for them. And as a result, some sequence of events happened where eventually they were able to make change. I'm not saying that my video is a direct result of their change. I don't think so regally of myself at all. But I do know that people need to be discussing real issues that are the scariest issues to them, that are putting them at the greatest risk, that they're maybe feeling embarrassed or too proud to talk about. And that is almost every single adult when they are starting to feel like their life is spinning out of control and they're headed towards a crisis situation. So I have found over the past few years that discussing this case and highlighting the family dynamics that we can see observably, that are indicators of, a crisis or other warning kind of sign situations happening within a home, is an effective teacher for people who relate, but they're not really sure what's going on with them inside themselves. It's an effective way for people to bond, and to bond in a meaningful way and start a conversation about how we need to be able to be honest about our own lives and our own vulnerabilities and our own imperfections, so we can all help each other be better, because we all deserve a good life. So did that answer your question, Mommy Ramblings Bitch?
She talks about, let's get to this. I'm just going through. Chris Watts' confession, part 2, more deflecting blame, plus Bella and Cece. Watts family holly jolly Christmas concert. She loves putting the kids in there. Cece plays in the toilet. Again, casting judgment on Shanann as a mother, right? What are we doing? Short videos of Bella and Cece. I'm sure that's Bella, Shanann, Cece. Yeah, she constantly uses Shanann's own videos on monetizing them. Okay, Watts family murders. She's got a big tub of Jif. Well, let me give you a clue. She wasn't allergic to peanuts. She was allergic to tree nuts.
no,
Einstein
shit.
over there. Einstein. Next to Cece and says, Watts murders. Cece Watts allergic to tree nuts? Let's investigate. Peanut is not a tree nut, my dear. You're investigating? Let's investigate Shanann. Title of her video. You're doing an investigation? Where's your credentials, sweetheart? Sweetheart.
Wait, what is the title of my video? I didn't think that's what did she say? Sweeter. What is sweeter? I don't know what sweeter it is.
And then literally weeks later.
What did she say? I don't know. Let's see.
She talks about let's get to this. I'm just going through. Chris Watts' confession, part 2, more deflecting blame, plus Bella and Cece.
Yep.
Watts family holly jolly Christmas concert.
Sure was. Cute.
She loves putting the kids in there.
Because we love the kids.
Cece plays
we want
in the
them
toilet.
Remembered.
Again, casting judgment on Shanann as a mother, right?
In that case, I certainly was.
Doing? Short videos of Bella and Cece. I'm sure that's Bella, Shanann, Cece. Yeah, she constantly uses Shanann's own videos on monetizing them. Okay, Watts family murders. She's got a big tub of Jif. Well, let me give you a clue. She wasn't allergic to peanuts. She was allergic to tree nuts. Einstein over there. Einstein. Next to Cece and says, Watts murders. Cece Watts allergic to tree nuts? Let's investigate. Peanut is not a tree nut, my dear.
I never said it was.
You're investigating? Let's investigate.
We did
Shanann.
investigate that, actually.
Title of her video.
I didn't say
You're
let's
doing an
investigate Shanann.
investigation.
I never said
Where's
that.
your credentials, sweetheart? Sweetheart.
I presented them, sweetheart.
And then literally weeks later after that video, because I guess, weeks before, I'm sorry, she had just about a similar video saying, Watts murders. Was Cece Watts allergic to tree nuts real?
Actually,
or what?
They were on the same topic, but they were completely different content because I put the first video out, and you guys probably know this, and I had been holding on to the real, kind of like linchpin on this topic for a long time because I was afraid of the reaction of the backlash on myself and this channel. And also, I knew it was going to be upsetting to people that they were going to take it as an attack on Shanann, which it was not at all. I actually emphasized, and this is absolutely sincerely how I feel about how bad I felt for Shanann when all this was going on. Because remember, she was across the country from her husband. She was in her first trimester of pregnancy, which I know for me was like particularly hard. She knew that they were going to be filing bankruptcy again. She knew that they weren't going to be able to probably afford their home. And while she's pregnant, rather than, painting her little baby boy's room, she knows a boy then, but eventually she would for a moment, like she wanted to be doing, she was going to have to pack up everything and start to look for a new home, and not the dream home that she wanted, like the one that they lived in now, but a home that to her was a step down, was a disappointment, was less than what she wanted. And all while she's by herself and pregnant. And, in her mind, evidenced by her text to her friends, starting to understand that her fuckhead husband was cheating on her. How could you not feel heartbroken for Shanann at that time? But people like this one right here like to turn it around to say, oh yeah, I'm blaming blah, 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 Shanann. No, I'm not. But the fact of the matter is there's shitloads of evidence showing that Cece was not allergic to tree nuts. And she obviously didn't watch the videos. Oh, I know. So the second video, what I was saying is Then I presented that kind of like linchpin stuff that I had been holding on to with the Thrive bars and stuff, and because I didn't. Everything else was out at that point. I was already feeling the backlash. It was already out there, so I may as well complete the information on the topic. And it was an investigation, yes. It was a lot of freaking hard work.
There's something else going on. Watts family. Oh, she does this one. Rare first family video on Facebook. Chris Watts and Bella Watts throughout the years.
It was rare until I posted it, actually. There was one source having that first video of Bella taking her first steps, and I got it directly from that source. Since I made a video about it and put it out there, a lot of other people have used it, and that's great because I want them to, or they should be able to. First of all, Bella was so super cute. Second of all, you got to see how Chris was as a father at that time, and you got to hear how loving Shanann was as a mother, and it was just a really sweet, precious video. And, you know, one of these persons is in prison for life now, and we're completely confused and in a state of desperate, like, you know, incongruent mental and heartbreak situation. And it's normal for us to want to better understand how the hell that happened. And then the other two, Bella and Shanann, are gone from this earth. And this case has touched so many people so deeply. We want to have these beautiful memories of them, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I wanted to provide people that beautiful memory of Shanann and Bella, since somebody had it and I knew I could get it and use it. And then also another, you know, piece of information about that. Oh my God, I need to figure out how Chris Watts could have done this puzzle. There's nothing wrong with that.
Chris Watts, we saw the breakdown and nothing good came of it, you mean?
Yeah, misspelling. Sometimes I do that.
And the breakdown, you're blaming, right, somebody else, right, for Chris?
Nope, I'm not.
Right, because you can't blame Chris, right?
Nope, I'm not blaming someone else. I said it about him, dumbass. I can't. She's just ridiculous. She's like a gaslighter by nature.
Here, Bella and CC Watts, medical history or mystery? You have their medical history? You have their medical reports. Isn't that what you told somebody the other night? You said, well, how can you have proof of their allergy? Do you have their medical?
No, that's not. She just this is like so stupid. She twists everything down. I have what is available to us that is ethical and legal to share. I compiled it because this stuff is not easy to find or obtain. Not all of it, some of it is, right? And what she's talking about here is when I was speaking about CC not being allergic to tree nuts, and Red Sky Black came into chat and, you know, was giving me kind of a hard time. Red Sky Black had sent me it's on Red Sky's Black channel, so you can go find it there. I will not put it on my channel because Red Sky Black claims that what she sent me was CC's original medical records from a medical center with medical test results on it and diagnostic conclusions. So, oh my God, what do we call that? We call that protected under HIPAA, protected under federal rules, protections, and regulations. And mishandling of that is a felony offense. So, for the sake of my own channel, I don't want to be part of that. Also, Red Sky Black, I don't want to get Red Sky Black in kind of trouble Red Sky Black isn't understanding that they could be in. And if those medical records were real, I do not believe they were, but let's just say they were, because I don't know. I don't know. All I can do is the best of, I don't know. Whoever then would have obtained those records and given them to Red Sky Black to, ostensibly a case could be made, published on YouTube, that person could be facing serious charges and penalties that would impact the rest of their life in a way that they could have never imagined and that cannot be fixed. So no, I didn't want to take part in doing that to someone.
Records? I can't. Do you have their medical records? Or let me guess, Cindy and Ronnie filling you in on stuff? Okay. A year ago, 1 year ago, is this a woman walking out of the garage? Maybe. She shows Kessinger. She shows the shadows. Who did that? AD? Well, that's an idol to her, right? Well, if AD made all this money, if AD got all these subscribers, if AD benefited so much, maybe I can, right? Seems that's the path she's going down. Okay, is this woman walking out of the garage and there's the shadows and there's the whole thing, and with her own mouth about that she thinks AD is great. Yeah, I have the screenshot.
That was a question in everyone's mind, out of my own mouth. Yeah, she thinks AD is great. Yeah, she has a screenshot. I am completely open on how I feel about AD. AD was very, very kind to me. We had great conversations. I think that he's done a lot of really good work and research and put a lot of effort into this case. I do think at times he did overstep boundaries in certain things. He knows I feel that way. Discussed it with him. There's no secret. I like him very, very much as a person. I still think he has done also great things as a YouTube sleuth channel. He has some really extraordinary qualities about him that allow him to be successful at things you may not assume you'd be successful at. And he was really fucking kind to me. And when I went on his channel the first time as an expert, his channel is the only one that I'd been on that actually properly vetted my credentials. And I had a lot of respect for that. So, yeah. I don't think he should have been kicked off of YouTube, and he shouldn't have. So that's how I feel about that. The reason he was because of people like Dave were happening contemporaneously, and there needed to be a point made.
Another one. Next one. Bella and Cece Watts in sickness and health. Watts family last videos and photos together in North Carolina and Myrtle Beach. Again, using these murder victims' videos, last moments of their lives for her own personal gain.
Yeah, that's it.
But not even being factual, as you can see here. Conspiracy, doubt, inciting hate. That's not facts. That's not doing anything to help people learn.
Seriously, go find any conspiracy channel out there and ask them if I have the spirit of conspiracy in my bones. They will say, yeah, I don't think so.
The facts of the case. What you're doing is spreading lies and conspiracy about the case, and you're spreading it not when it's going on and people had questions and maybe they thought something and then they found out. No. You're doing this just in the last year.
You know what? That's where her total bitch comes out, because she's saying that because she was talking about this case when it was unfolding and breaking. Yes, I was not. Never claimed to be. Was doing different things. Have no feelings either way that I wasn't here at this time. I'm not like, oh shoot, those years should have been spent laboring over YouTube. Right. So it's okay that she did that, but somebody cannot look at a crime or like true crime in retrospect and talk about it. Like, since when? Like, what country do you live in?
Last few months. So you know these things are debunked. You know they're not real.
No.
Chris Watts and Bella, his daughters, acting like Chris Watts is this wonderful father.
When have I ever said that? Or I can't even listen to her anymore. So anyway, that was a real treat of the day. Thanks, Nancy. Don't mess with Nancy, man, because this could happen to you too. Just kidding. Oh boy. Rachel's already sent me some really great stuff on the Mica Miller case, so I'll definitely have her on again, and we'll talk more about that. Oy, oy, oy. Laura says MRB thinks thinks only in black and white. Yeah, I'm seeing that, huh? You're right about that one. That's very accurate. Someone is either guilty or innocent. She doesn't understand forensic psychology or trying to analyze the stressors that create the situation that led to the crime. So well said, because that's what we do, right? That's really a very well stated comment. Thank you. No, clearly she does not understand those things. Amen. There's the answer right there. Laura's got it. We're done. That really was a good comment. Mana says one person said the man regained innocence after walking away from what he did. Are you talking about Chris Watts? LOL. They are so misguided and ugly to anyone that disagrees with nonsense like that. Yeah. I have scoliosis too, honey bun. It's not that bad. It used to be actually worse. Sounds like yours is pretty bad, and I'm sorry for that. Oh my god, I'm still like 20 minutes behind. Let me get current here. Whoopsie, 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 whoopsie. She hates Cindy and Ronnie Watts. She really does hate them. And I mean, that's what initially disgusted me about her. But you know, fine. But yeah, she really has a hatred for them. Does anybody know who is suing her? Oh, Bonnie, I don't, but please do tell, or do you not know? Okay, Edward, I definitely will. Okay, oh, I'm so curious now. Great. Awesome. I will definitely get back to you right away. Right. Oh my God, that's such a good point. I didn't even think of that. Black Rose SFO, and welcome. How are you? Says Sandra R went to Dave Bonhoeffer and wrote a whole page about Celeste being allergic to peanuts. She didn't say tree nuts. Mommy Ramblings would know that if she were her best friend. That's right. That's a really good point. And maybe the reason she didn't know that too is because Shanann wasn't consistent with it, because she was just trying to like feel it out. Because sorry, it was fictional. I mean, Cece did have a reaction to kiwi, and that was on the date that Shanann later claimed was the first time there was the tree nut reaction. And this is the time that Chris Watts refers to when he's in prison doing the interview and saying, well, I didn't see in person, but I saw, pictures of, and he describes the pictures, and it's like not an anaphylactic allergic reaction, Can't remember what the descriptor he uses, but it's clear that it's not. Ah, geez. CV says 80 claims to find NK's identity. Is that what you mean? Kez says, Kelly, really don't get her. She's full of hate. You've done nothing to her. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Look into the mirror, MRB, no doubt. Oh my gosh, that's so funny you said that. Hey, Loco Jazz Hands. I was just saying earlier to someone, I didn't say it during live stream, there are definitely, okay, so did I say this earlier? For example, the redacted phone interviews that Mommy Rambling's got her boxer shorts all in a bundle about, where I really was not able to find them when I was looking for them. That's why I made the videos. The one person who did actually make a video about all that and did have all the information, and long before I did, and I can't remember why. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it's on our channel now. It's just I really just don't know. Is CDT, and CDT did a lot of really amazing, like uncovering things like research-based work, when this case was unfolding, and also retrospectively afterwards, like people are allowed to do and people always do. Yeah, she's really good like that. So you said, I watched ATS Live today, and she shared that the IG, what's this IG thing? What am I not getting here? CDT. Oh, Instagram. Okay, right. Because she used to be on, I got it. She used to be on YouTube and now she's on Instagram. Okay. CDT found NK 666 and weapons. What is, wow, okay. Huh. She's good though. I believe CDT does find things. Yeah, she's really good. I have respect for her. Yeah. R says, "Mommy ramblings equals what is it? YouTube police." That's what she thinks. Yeah. Edward, expanding on that. Yep. Squirrels on Fire says that lady needs to turn off her guest host. Seriously. Yikes. What is she so triggered about? Because you have successful badass channel and career? Hey, thank you. I'll take this as a compliment. Yeah, she is triggered. Which is so crazy because I never would have ever, sent anything negative or bad or other than support her way. And there's, but not anymore, apparently. I'm not anymore because no, I don't support this. Of course I don't. I'd be stupid if somebody thought I should. Tracy says she's been on YouTube years before Kelly, and Kelly has more subs than her. Says a lot. Well, maybe that's what she's upset about. I don't know what she's upset about. I thought she had more subs, but I don't know. I don't even know what subs mean anymore. I'm like, one day I was at whatever number, now I have 50,000. I'm like, that's wow. Like, I'm just grateful. That's all I am. I'm grateful. And trying to do the right thing with my channel. Bonnie Riggs says, better channel, better community. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. The channel community here really, truly is awesome. You guys are all first class. For sure. With a couple unstable actors, but that's okay. We love them anyway. Let's see. CDT is a channel. The person that runs the channel, her name is Kelly, like myself, but we are different people. And she had a channel, YouTube channel, and her and Amber, they were covering Watts at the same time. They became friends, and they swap off on each other's channels a lot. Her YouTube channel got demonetized the same way mine did at one point. So did Plunder's. A lot of true crime channels did because YouTube was just, they were just like, I don't know, they were going through menopause or something, really cranky, taking it out on like certain people. And you had to go through this whole process to get your channel back on track. And like for me, I did the steps and YouTube was just like, okay, you're good now. But for like Plunder, who I think is an exceptional true crime channel, she went through the steps and they declined for her. And she kind of had to do a lot of work to then, pick it back up and march on, little soldier. And I suspect that may have be what happened with CDT, because I was really surprised when she's just like, okay, well, YouTube did this and that channel is just gonna, the content, a lot of the content is still there, but she went over to Instagram. So you could go find her on Instagram. Shoot, I didn't know her name. I specifically looked it up recently so I could tell people, and it's too late for me to remember. But CDT is in the name. It's not that easy to find though, but if you scroll for about 5 minutes, I think you will, because that's what happened with me. She's good. Bonnie Riggs says CDT is awesome. Yes. He likes CDT. Yeah, ours says I don't care about how many subs someone has. What I care about is if they're a good person. Yeah, right on. And, Yeah. Oh God, Sub Rosa. Oh, Sub Rosa. Kelly, 50.1. Yeah, it's of the 11:40 Eastern Standard on the May 16th. Yeah, that's awesome. You guys are great. She has less than 43,000. Yeah. I never would even, I never even, I don't, well, I mean, every now and then I do look at that, but I mean, not really. I mean, if I have a reason to. Like, for example, I love Tilted Lawyer. I want to have him come on again soon. He's going to come on again soon. We're just like getting our stuff together. And I hope his channel grows. So, like, when I do go watch his video, I totally check out how many subs he has. And because I'm excited to see the channel growing. And, you know, there's some other channels that I don't know. I'm not always so excited to see growing. And I'm like, how the heck do people actually subscribe to this and buy into this crap? No names. And so I check that out too. I mean, you know, whatever. But yeah. Yours was demonetized as well? Did you get it? Is it monetized now or do you need help with anything? Oh, thank you. Hey, I put the link for CDT. That's great. Thank you. Plunder is super great. Suspicious says she thinks she's the morality police and the self-appointed keeper of all that damn Discovery film. Totally. It's all mine. Mine and Michael Rourke's. Leave me alone. No, I'm gonna close out soon, honey, because I'm really tired. Or I would. Tomorrow night I will. Yeah, Jodie's cool. She does look kind of like an actress from a sitcom. I could see that. Yeah. She has a personality of a doornail, though. Obviously. Oh, I'm sorry, Stevie. Take care of yourself, sweetheart. I hope you feel better. Uh-oh. See, a couple people text me. I haven't gotten back to them yet because I've been doing this all night, but this is what I'm concerned about. I'll have the legal team in place. It's just one. I've only had to ever do anything legal with the channel one time, and that was dipshit Dave because he's just psycho. Hope to never have to do it again. I think it's kind of silly, but anyway, thank you for this. Lisa says, just be careful. MRB is known to go real life, call people's jobs, call their local police. Oh, Jesus Christ. Look for a strike against you, hoping you counterclaim to get your information. Oh, wow. Dude, I never even would have thought of that. I'm so glad you said that. Shit. Well, to think about that. Thank you for saying that. I'm going to screenshot that. And yeah, someone will. Yeah. Uh-oh. Yeah, I have, this, whatever. I'm not scared of you, bitch. I just don't want the drama. I don't have time for the drama, so I won't accept the drama. So I will figure a way to handle the drama if it keeps coming. And ultimately, it's going to be, her problem. Certainly, it will be. But I mean, seriously, life is too short for this crap. Like, what is her? I don't know. Thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. It was hard to do. I've had people call my school, Kelly, be careful. Well, yeah, I had that happen too. Dave. Oh, wow, Ara, that's crazy. Wow, we have to talk about this sometime. And Manda K says, and my thing is, she told lies. Right, exactly. Well, that's fundamentally the issue, right? If she had a problem with her content and it's what was actually said and done, that's one thing. But she told bold-faced lies. That's exactly it. You're right. It is almost like she's confusing me with another channel. I think in part she is, but I think who she's intending to go after is me, and that's unfortunate for her. So Squirrel's Fire says that she strikes, just counter. Yeah, I had to go through this whole game with dipshit Dave, but I think what that person was saying was that if you fight a strike, the person who struck you is going to have access to your personal information. Which, if you're going to be really kind of like a big slime ball and go real life on someone and actually try to do damage to them in like real life up close and personal, then maybe you should be behind bars like Chris Watts. But, you also would perhaps take someone's personal information and use it in order to harass them. I think that was the point, but no, I know what you mean. Oh, thanks, Abrosa. Use a PO box in your info. Can you do that? Okay, yeah, I will. Yeah, good call. As long as you can do that, I will. Yeah, why not, right? Bonnie, the Watts Obsession Army will protect you. I'm sure they will. Oh, is she really that juvenile to strike your channel? Well, time will tell. I mean, she has no legitimate strikes. There's no legitimately strikeable material on my channel. Well, no, like from to be really strikeable, to strike somebody and have it be legitimate, your material that you're claiming is yours, that you're striking them for, needs to be copyright or patent protected under U.S. patent law. And that's that. I mean, and really very, very, almost no creators actually do that. Motion pictures do that. But YouTube creators don't do that. And they're certainly not going to try to content copyright strike protect all their content because, for a single person or a small channel, that would be an insane amount of work and expense. So almost all copyright strikes are fake and false. But yeah. Oh, and who is suing her? Do you know? MRB uses strikes to get the personal information of any creator who stands up to her, bullying. Then she uses the personal information to go real life on them. That's why she's getting sued, in my opinion. Sounds probably just about accurate. Hi, Rory. How are you doing? Oh, man. Cool. Thanks, Squirrel. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to have to end this because it is about to strike midnight and my carriage is going to turn into a pumpkin and my bunnies, I think, are going to turn into mice. And you guys are the best. Love you guys. And thank you for being here tonight and always. And I am planning to do a live stream tomorrow night because it is Friday night date night. If the past few days of live streams is all too much for me, then I'll upload a video tomorrow night because I have some that are actually ready to go. And we'll do one on Saturday night. So be looking for that because I always love it when you guys are here. You guys are the best. Yeah. Greatest true crime community ever. Nice talking with you too, Tracy. Oh, thanks, Mandy K. Okay, I'll check the email too. Good night, Laura. Nice to meet you, I think. It's your first time here. Glad you came by, Squirrel. Nice to see you. Are you going to do an after party? Are you going to go live tonight, Ara? If you lose your glass slipper, Kelly, Prince Charming will come make sure you get it back. I don't got no Prince Charming in my life. I don't want one. No, I'm just kidding. That'd be cool, actually. I just like someone to put my shoes on for me in the morning. No, just kidding. I wear like little heel slip-ons. They're super easy. Just slip my little toesies in there and good to go. Oh, I will, Vanda K. And also Honey Bonnet. Yeah, okay. Awesome. I definitely will. Yeah, thank you, moderators. You guys are the best. All righty. Well, everybody take care. Lock your windows, lock your doors. I want you to be safe. Remember, life is hard. There's people like this out there, but you should still be nice to others, right? Because we don't want to be the mommy ramblings asshole in the room. And please be good to yourself because you deserve it. And there are people like mommy ramblings out there. And geez, yeah, be good to yourself. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.